problems with the fact that today is a working day, it's okay. But just know that you need to take charge of your life and your day. Whatever you decide to do with it, it's all up to you, okay? Yesterday, some decided to go to the beach. Some sat with family at home. Some went partying elsewhere. Some attended picnics. Choice is yours, right? So take charge, but make a good decision on that note, okay? You take charge of your life. There's so much you can achieve. There's so much you can do. You just need to put your mind to it. Dream, but don't sleep. Wake up and get working on that dream so you can achieve it. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, as I mentioned yesterday, lots of people chose picnics, parties, programs, family gatherings and all. But here, Channel One Television and 97.3 City FM, we chose to spend our day with children in an orphanage and, of course, clients, I like to call them clients, of 2 rehab centers in the capital, okay? It was an amazing day, super day, time well spent, and, of course, affording us the opportunity to reflect. I mean, when you enter the orphanage, right, you appreciate the saving grace that you have, okay? It's just by grace that you are not there and you are on the other side of life and those inmates happen to be there. It's just the saving grace of God, and you should be grateful for that. You should give thanks because that could have easily been you. And so we're grateful to you that came our way to support and to give us the resources needed to put smiles on the faces of these little ones who actually have no one. You were kind enough to help us shed light into the lives of these young kids. And we're grateful to you. We want to say thank you to all of you that supported us, those that sent us momo, those that sent us bags of rice, milk, sugar, teaching and learning materials. Oh, we're just thankful to you. Anytime we make that call, you come to our aid, you support us, and of course, help us put smiles on the faces of these young ones. And so we're always thankful to you. And so you can see pictures there, management and staff of City 97.3 FM and Channel One TV spending time. This is the Baptist School Complex Orphanage at Troto. And you can see staff and management there spending time with the children at the orphanage. Absolutely a humbling experience. But then again, it was amazing. And you can tell by the smiles on the faces of these little ones how appreciative they are of your support. We've been doing this for a number of years now, and we pray and hope that with your continued support, we will be able to do it for years to come. Grateful to you always. Thank you so much for helping us with your money, with your food, with your books, with your pencils, your crayons, whatever it is that you sent us to go put a smile on the faces of these little ones. We say thank you, and God richly bless and replenish your stock. Now, it wasn't just at the orphanage. We visited 2 rehab centers as well, where we got to spend time with the clients of these rehab centers, and of course, which also your support, again, be a blessing to them. It's amazing the kind of sacrificial work the managers of these rehab centers are doing. And so we want to thank you so much for assisting us to be able to make donations to these rehab centers. 2 each, 2 different donations of 25,000 Ghana cedis each to the rehab centers, and a 50,000 Ghana cedis donation to the Baptist School Complex. All kind courtesy, you, a wonderful viewer on Channel One TV, and of course, you, the amazing listener of 97.3 City FM. God bless you so much. We truly appreciate it. And like I said, it humbles us the more that you are able to support us in the way that you do to be able to impact lives. That's all we're about. We believe in family and we believe in impacting lives. And you can see when you visit the rehab centers, the level of transformation and reformation going on there. Boy, it's just amazing. And they deserve all the support that they can get. So once again, thank you. And we trust that whenever we call on you again, you will be there. And God will bless you and enable you to be able to support us do some more impactful work in society. Thank you so much. Well, we've been praying this entire month of April, We call it the seasons of prayer. We've had 3 sessions per day, each day from the first day of April. It's going all the way to the end of April. That's the 30th at midnight. That's from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. We'll have the midnight cry. Then from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., we have This Is Your Day. And then we have the prayer encounter from 12 noon. That's 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Prayer encounter. We entreat all of you to join us on Facebook, where we'll be live with our prayer session. You can join us there. Let us pray together for ourselves, for our families, our businesses, our nation, our leaders. And of course, let's give thanks to God Almighty for how far He has brought us. And seek His face, okay, going forward, regarding whatever endeavor we're seeking to embark on. All right, now the seasons of prayer is a precursor to the big one. As I did indicate earlier, here we believe in the family, the unit, and of course the strength in numbers. And so on the 1st of May, we are all gathering at the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel here in Accra for the family consecration service. Let's come together as a family. Let's pray together. Let's seek God's intervention and intercession. And let's pray that He continues to bless us. Okay, family consecration service happening on the 1st of May. That's a Thursday, 2025, at the Oil Dome Royal House Chapel here in Accra. Reverend Stephen Wengam will be there. Reverend Mauli Chikata will be there. Reverend Mauli Benson, Reverend Michael Noah Bewonu, Reverend Nelson Awentia, Reverend Freddie McDavis. They will all be there, and there will be a blessing unto all of us. So we'd like to see you. Come with the family. Come early. We're starting from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. Let's all gather and pray. The Bible says that we should not forget the brethren, or the assembly of the brethren. Same way He says, where 2 or 3 are gathered in His name, He is there in their midst. And so we entreat you to come. Let us assemble as a family. Let us pray and seek God's intervention. All right? Great stuff. But once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support, helping us put a smile on the face of these orphans as part of our Easter Orphan Project. God bless you so much. Okay, that said, let's get straight into our business for the day. We're going into the dailies, all right? We're going to check out the headlines, the various stories that have made it to the front pages. Quite a number of the papers came out today. Yesterday, I struggled a bit because the papers didn't come out. They were on holiday. Today, a number of them are here. And so we start off with the Daily Graphic. Let's see what's on the front page of the Daily Graphic. Heavy on the illegal mining issue, of course. Over the holiday period, the lands minister was at work, and we've seen the happenings, and of course what has happened after his press conference. So the lands minister is pictured here, and the story says, Akonta mining license revoked. Akonta mining license revoked. Comes with a picture of the lands minister, as I mentioned earlier. Then you have His Excellency the President, John Dramani Mahama, on the left-hand corner of the paper. It says, at Kwahu Business Forum, Mahama unveils vision for private sector. At Kwahu Business Forum, Mahama unveils vision for private sector. 34 police commanders reshuffled in Galamsey areas. 34 police commanders reshuffled in Galamsey areas. And the sad one that came in yesterday, the Vatican made that quite unfortunate announcement. We were here on air when it came in, and quite as difficult as it was, we also had to put it out there so the world knows. Story says, world mourns Pope Francis. World mourns Pope Francis. Quite a sad one there. A number of arrangements are being made. The Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference have issued their own press statement regarding what is expected to happen from now on until the burial of the pontiff. Okay, so the Catholic community have our condolences. Okay, let me take you to the Ghanaian Times newspaper now. Front page. Again, back to Kwahu. President Mahama, pictured here. At Kwahu Business Forum, we are turning the corner. President Mahama speaking. At Kwahu Business Forum, we are turning the corner. President Mahama. Tributes pour in from world leaders after Pope Francis's death. And women empowerment in Tiame. Minority leader pledges support. Then you have the big one. Government revokes Akonta mining lease for trespassing Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve. That's attributed to the Lands Minister, Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boa. A number of stories there on how Christians mark the Easter festivities. That's on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. Grab a copy and you get it. All right, let's jump into the Daily Guide. Daily Guide newspaper. Front page says, Bawumia NPP begin thank you tour. Bawumia NPP begin thank you tour. Police seize illegal ammunitions in Volta region. Yeah, we had that story yesterday as well. We understand a Benin-bound vehicle from Accra was intercepted somewhere in the Volta region, and upon this bars, a number of ammunition illegal were seized. Kudos to the police for that. Nana meets John Mahama and Kufuor at Kwawu Easter. Nana meets John Mahama and Kufuor at Kwawu Easter. Then you have government revokes Akonta mining license. Government revokes Akonta mining license. Pope Francis dies aged 88. Tributes pour in. Pope Francis dies 88. Tributes pour in. That's the Daily Guide newspaper. Let's check out the Chronicle, shall we? What's the Chronicle newspaper saying? Major story here also on the Akonta mining issue. Akonta mining has become a criminal syndicate. That's according to Ama Kofi Boa, Emmanuel Ama Kofi Boa, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. He says Akonta mining has become a criminal syndicate. Okay, as the Freema Foundation celebrates Easter with assurance of hope for the needy. Okay. Yohunu orders detention of 3 cops over alleged $70,000 theft. Yohunu orders detention of 3 cops over alleged $70,000 theft. Then we can get into our scripture for the day, taken from the book of 1 Timothy, the chapter 6, the verse 10. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. Thanks be to God for the reading of his word. All right, let's see what the New Republic is saying this morning. The New Republic, I'm not sure whether we are at an auction sale or what's happening on the front page, but it says, go in. What or who is going where? New Republic. But I'm sure when you get a copy of the paper, the details are there. We'll see what you've done, but it's okay. It's not for us to tell. When people get a copy of the paper, they should be able to get the details there. New Republic there. 219 victims freed from cybercrime hell. 219 victims freed from cybercrime hell. NACOC raids Medina Market and Redco Flat as government kicks anti-narcotics operation in action. Hidden horrors of Subri Forest slum as Forestry Commission discloses shocking details of Abrewa neck crime. Hey, things are happening in this country. Calls for military base in Boko escalate. Calls for military base in Boko escalate. Benin-bound arms busted. Benin-bound arms busted. Okay, this is Daybreak. Alarm blow over shady RCC 64 recruitment. Alarm blow over shady RCC 64 recruitment. NIB probe drip chop chop. NIB probe drip chop chop. Easter Orphan Project, City FM and Channel 1 TV donate 50,000 Ghana cedis and assorted items to Basco. Mahama appoints Elizabeth Yanka as Deputy National Security Coordinator. Mahama appoints Elizabeth Yanka as Deputy National Security Coordinator. And Gideon Buakon spends Easter with Tano North self-starters living in Accra. Gideon Buakon spends Easter with Tano North self-starters living in Accra. That's the Daybreak newspaper. I'll bring you to the Economy Times now. What's the Economy Times saying? Government anchors on fiscal discipline to pursue IMF program targets. Government anchors on fiscal discipline to pursue IMF program targets. Damai Mines takeover. Mencom dispels lack of local capacity sentiment. Damai Mines takeover. Mencom dispels lack of local capacity sentiment. And then you have Ghana's first listed commercial paper issuance opens door to new financing mode. Ghana's first listed commercial paper issuance opens door to new financing mode. That's the front page of the Economy Times. Let's still stay in the business space and check out the Business and Financial Times, BNFT, which front page has the big story, commercial grade nickel discovered in Oti region. Okay, big one there. Commercial grade nickel discovered in Oti region. But you see, we need to be careful. The fact that we've discovered this nickel is not to pave way for illegal mining of this nickel. Else we are doomed. We know where Oti is. We know where the Volta River is. If we begin to misbehave along that line and start polluting the Volta River as well, we are doomed. Already we have destroyed the Ofin, destroyed the Pra, destroyed Ankobra, and a host of others. We've seen the level of devastation and destruction in our forest, all in the name of mining. We couldn't, as a country, crack the whip and ensure responsible mining, reclamation of lands after mining, protection of our water bodies, even though we're mining. And now that we've discovered nickel of commercial grade in the Oti region, we should put the right measures in place as strict as possible. Else, if we enter that side and we begin to destroy the Volta River, I don't know what the future holds for us. So we beg you, let's do the right thing, okay? Let's do right by Mother Ghana. And let's all be proud to call ourselves Ghanaians at the end of the day. Other stories on the front page of the BNFT. 3 oil refineries, 5 petrochemical plants to be constructed. 3 oil refineries, 5 petrochemical plants to be constructed. Comes with a picture of the Deputy Energy and Green Transition Minister, Richard Jan Mensah. Then on the stock market, you have Fedco sets GSE commercial paper ball rolling with 72.5 million Ghana cedis of 200 million cedis raised. Okay, government gets bold digital reset in motion. Government gets bold digital reset in motion. And then you have a number of comments and analysis write-ups in there. That's the BNFT. Grab a copy and you can get the details. I want to take you online real quick, okay? Let's see what's happening online. Let's go to channel1news.com, see what they are leading with this morning. Channel1news.com. Okay, 47 arrested, 17 excavators and weapons seized in police anti-Galamsey raid. 47 arrested, 17 excavators and weapons seized in police anti-Galamsey raid. Akonta Mining refutes Galamsey claims in Tano Nimiri Forest. Like we mentioned yesterday, the Minister for the sector, Emmanuel Amakufibua, spoke, directed the Minerals Commission to revoke the license of Akonta Mining following alleged illegal mining in the Tano Nimiri Forest and the level of devastation as shown by the Minister. Whew, it's quite sad, and at a point we saw the Minister shed tears. It's heartbreaking to see that people can be this careless and callous in destroying our environment, the way and manner in which they are doing it with such impudence, because I don't know what kind of power they think they hold and why they feel they can do what they are doing without anyone stopping or touching them. And so, for me, it's good that the minister is exposing same, but it does not end there or should not end there. Even with the revocation of the license, if indeed the allegations are true, it should not end there. There should be some prosecution. People must be made to pay for the crimes they have committed against Mother Ghana. Whatever has happened in that forest, that level of destruction is criminal, and people need to pay. And so, Mr. Minister, I mean, aside the tears and all, we're sharing your pain. We're all Ghanaians. We are saddened by it. We are hurt. But after the tears on camera, please, people need to pay for that level of devastation, that destruction, that carelessness. People need to pay for it. So please, we need you to act on that as well. But kudos to you for the work you have been doing regarding illegal mining in the country. Let's look at some other stories on channel1news.com. ECOWAS launches 50th anniversary celebrations today in Accra. ECOWAS launches 50th anniversary celebrations today in Accra. Next Pope will be God's choice, not politics. This is Bishop John Kobna Louis speaking there. And then when you go to the website, you would have photos of the City FM Channel 1 TV support to Basco. Of course, we donated some cash and, of course, other essential items to the orphanage. Okay, so go on channel1news.com. You get pictures of that particular event, which we are eternally grateful to you for supporting. Okay, thank you so much. We knew we could count on you, and you came through for us, and we say God bless you. All right, let's check out other stories here. TTH launches probe into alleged negligence following patient's death. TTH launches probe into alleged negligence following patient's death. 51 arrested, weapons and equipment seized in raid on Akonta mining. That's attributed to the lands minister. He also actually put out there that some over 30 excavators were seized from the site. Should tell you the level of impudence and, of course, disregard for the environment that was going on there. Okay. A host of other stories also on channel1news.com. So get onto the website, get onto the portal, and you can get all the details there. But let me take you to citynewsroom.com. Let's see what is happening on citynewsroom.com. Akonta mining. Galamsey allegations politically motivated. You know, Akonta mining issued a statement in response or in reaction to the minister's press conference, and they say that they are innocent of all the allegations or charges by the minister, and they feel that all these allegations are politically motivated. We know who the front runners or the faces for Akonta mining are. We know the Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Nchibu-Esiakon, also known as Chairman Wuntumi, is more or less the owner of Akonta mining, as we've been told over the period. And they have issued a statement in reaction or in response to the minister's press conference yesterday. They say that they are not involved in illegal mining in the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve. Okay? They claim that they have a legal lease. They are legally mandated to carry out large-scale mining, according to the statement that they released. And so they have no hand or business in the destruction of the Tano Nimiri Forest, as espoused or alleged by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boah, yesterday. We'll be getting into that conversation, looking at perspectives. I mean, the damage is done. The destruction is done. It's time to make people pay, okay? Somebody needs to pay for the reclamation of these lands. Somebody needs to pay for the afforestation or reforestation of this particular place. And so, yes, saddened, yes, hurt, yes, you're allowed to cry on TV, but Mr. Minister, crack the whip. Let us get people to pay for their crimes. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll have a conversation on this particular matter and others. We'll be right back.
This year, take the first step towards a deeper connection with God and one another. Join us for the Family Consecration Service, a powerful journey of faith, love, and renewal. In 2025, we are called to consecrate our homes, our hearts, and our lives.
The Lord is protecting you with His favor this morning in the name of Jesus. May the Lord favor your going out. May the Lord favor your coming in. begin
to dedicate ourselves and our families to the path of faith, grace, and unity. Through prayer and reflection and a shared devotion, the Family Consecration Service 2025 brings families closer together, strengthens bonds, and invites God's presence into every corner of our homes. It's on Thursday, 1st of May 2025 from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. The venue is the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel International, Accra. There will be renewal of vows for married couples.
on this occasion. I'm asking you to forgive me for all the hits and pain I have caused you.
Join countless families around the world as we come together to consecrate our lives in the spirit of love and faith. A consecration for today and for generations to come. Make this year a new beginning. Family Consecration Service 2025 for the love of God and the love of family. Join us this year. Together, let's consecrate our families and our hearts.
Where politics meets power, where the tough questions are asked, welcome to Face to Face. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou as he takes you face to face with the key players shaping the future of our nation.
I lost over $10 million at the trade fair.
You had a fight with the management of trade fair?
I don't have a fight with them. I just deplore the way they went about what they did.
Let's talk about the chief prosecutor of the state at the time that you were being prosecuted, Godfrey Yeboah Dame, the Attorney General.
Yes. I think he was directed to jail us.
By who?
By the system.
Boku has been a failure for your government, though.
Can't be a failure.
You have not solved it.
No, you are not praising them, the previous government for solving Yende, which was even a more difficult case.
It's quite obvious that from these votes, the people felt that let's just let you go.
So they were disappointed
In us.
You
have done
are
better.
essentially the worst government in the Fourth Republic.
I don't know how you are doing that. If you based on the indicators,
Yes, based on the number of people who refused to
turn
come
out
and
to
vote
vote.
for
If
you.
that is your analysis, then why not?
No filter, no boundaries, just the truth behind the headlines. Deep, bold, and unflinching. Face to Face with Umaru Sanda Amadou airs on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV, where politics gets real.
Welcome. It's Play to Aid.
Get ready for the game show where every play has a purpose. Welcome to Play to Aid, the only game show where your knowledge and skill don't just win you prizes, they help change lives.
What sport is considered the most popular in the world?
Come on. Football.
Every point you earn goes toward real-world support, from school supplies to health kits, clean water to emergency relief. Play smart, play big, play to aid. Catch all the action, the drama, and the heat.
Most commonly spoken language in Brazil.
Portuguese.
Play to Aid every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Edna, let's begin.
The Play to Aid game show is proudly sponsored by Tank Palace, Giraffe Island, and VVIP.
Hello again. Grateful that you stayed on with us. This is Breakfast Daily, live on Channel 1 Television. We're going to go into the conversations. As I mentioned earlier, we'll start off with the issue of illegal mining and the fight against it, what the government has been doing, and of course, what the future holds for this particular fight. Two gentlemen in the studio with me. Do a quick introduction and welcome them. It's been a long Easter holidays. I'm sure they are refreshed. Hopefully they got to rest so that we kick off the working week from a Tuesday. Larry Dogwe, editor of the Herald newspaper. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, too.
The way I'm black, I'm not too sure what's going on, but...
I'm actually a Catholic.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a Catholic.
Okay. So we're mourning the Pope.
The Pope, true. Yeah,
Very well.
I'm a Catholic.
Very well. Very well.
Yeah.
Wanda Madilo is here. He's a member of the NDC's communication team. Good morning, Wanda.
Yes, a very good morning to your viewers. Privileged it is to be here.
Right. I mean, minus the passing of the Pope yesterday, how was the Easter holidays?
Actually, I've been away in my constituency. A few events here.
Which one is this? Which of the constituency?
Ketu South.
Ketu South.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
so
Wonderful.
A few events here and there, and so far so good. We have better prospects, apart from the passing of the Pope, which made all of us to be sad. You know, I mean, because it happened on the Monday.
Yeah.
And that changed the mood a bit. Even though I'm not a Catholic, but I'm a Catholic by heart, not by practice, you know. But we look forward to a better day and a new Pope, you know, to be installed. We need that world order to be restored as quickly as possible.
Did you go to the village?
Yes, I was. I was there when OJ wouldn't allow me to. Would he allow me?
Yeah,
the man kept calling and calling and calling.
I can imagine.
I told him, Charlie, I'm in the family meeting. Give me some few minutes. OJ can disturb.
Well, I mean, the man knows how to get his work done.
So in my case, it has not been restful. It's been very, very eventful. Yeah, and so many activities during the weekend and then even yesterday.
Right.
But because you had called, I had no choice than to dash here.
And we're grateful to you. We're grateful to you. Yeah. Okay, let's get into our business of the day. We're starting off with illegal mining. The Lands and Natural Resources Minister has been busy, Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boah. Long and short of the story is that the government raided Akonta mining site. We know Akonta mining has been in the news over the period, and of course, the government has raided the site and ordered the revocation of the license. There's a story here on citynewsroom.com. I'll read a few paragraphs and then I'll throw it to you, gentlemen. Pick your thoughts on what has happened. Now, the government has revoked the license lease, or the mining lease rather, of Akonta Mining Company Limited following revelations of the company's deep involvement in illegal mining activities commonly known as Galamsey within protected forest reserves. Now, speaking at a press briefing in Accra on Monday, April 21, 2025, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Ama Kofi-Boah, outlined findings from recent undercover investigations which uncovered that Akonta Mining was operating unlawfully in forest reserves despite lacking the necessary permits. According to the minister, although Akonta Mining holds a license to operate off-reserve, the company had encroached into the Aboy and Tano Nimiri forest reserves in the Western North region. So, I mean, this is basically a few paragraphs of that story there. The minister went on to direct the Minerals Commission to revoke the license of Akonta Mining. Some arrests were made, 51 of them, out of which 8 were Chinese, 39 Ghanaian men, 4 Ghanaian women. Some weapons also seized. Wanda, I'll start with you. The issue, as grave as it is, was bad enough to get our Minister of State in charge of lands and natural resources to cry on national TV. Quite, I mean, I don't have the words for it, but if we look at how we have come regarding this...
Do you have the video of him crying?
You want us to show the video of the minister crying?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the producers will fish it out and we can see what we'll do with that. But, I mean, beyond the tears, right? If indeed it is established that this is what has happened, I think some persons should be made to pay. The revocation of the license should not be enough. Mind you, the company has issued a statement denying the allegations. I just had to chip that one in there.
So read that one.
Yeah. So let's just see what the company is saying. Also carried on citynewsroom.com. Akonta Mining Company. Galamsey allegations politically motivated. Akonta Mining Limited has denied allegations of engaging in illegal mining activities within the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve following the revocation of its license by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Ama Kofi-Boah. Now, at a press brief, okay, this goes to tell us what the minister has said. So I jump to the response. which says, in response, Akonta Mining issued a statement rejecting the allegations as false and misleading and described the revocation of its license as a breach of natural justice. Quote, we are not responsible for the activities in the Tano Nimiri Forest Reserve. That responsibility lies solely with the Forestry Commission and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the company stated. It is deeply concerning that state institutions are shifting blame onto a private company that has never been granted access to the said forest area. The decision by the minister to publicly accuse us and call for the revocation of our license without any investigation or hearing is not just unfair. It is a clear breach of natural justice and a politically motivated act, end quote, the statement added. So minister has spoken, directed Minerals Commission to revoke the license of Akonta Mining based on what he says is an undercover operation they embarked on. Akonta Mining, however, says all these are false, politically motivated, a breach of natural justice because they haven't been investigated, they haven't had a fair hearing, and they are calling for fairness in this matter. Before we get into the conversation, Dennis Abuaje has joined us. Good morning. Good to see you. I hope all is well. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. So, Larry, let me start with you.
No, you mentioned
I wanted Wanda to start. Rather than this is here, I'll start with you, and then we'll get the reactions from the two of them as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Good morning, and then good morning to our viewers. First of all, I read the statement. I didn't watch the press conference, and a few things came to mind. Firstly, this is not the first time that Akonta Mining has come up. I recall that in 2023, there was a media report about their involvement in some mining activities in forest areas and so on. And we created, a storm. Along the line, the president then, President Akufo-Addo, worked to clear the company.
As it were.
Yes, that their investigation has shown that Akonta Mining was not involved in anything of a sort. I recalled Ken Ashigbe, who has been involved in Galamsey.
The media coalition against illegal mining.
Came out virtually, disputing what the president said. Okay. Now, so the debate has been on whether or not the company is involved in a thing like that, because the president's word carried a lot of weight. Again, Woon to me, as in the owner, has also been disputing the company's name,
or its involvement in
Galamsey, but never disputed the fact that it had licenses, to go into gold mining. While doing that, I think either before then or just during the debate, he, to me, had been on TV, showing gold bars, gold chain, talking about how rich he was and so on and so forth. For me, if, as a PR person, if a company has been cited to be involved in a thing like this, out of a media investigation, in fighting it, you don't do such things.
Was that display of the gold before or after the issue came up?
But okay, I think
if it was before, then really,
I think it was done before, and even during the period. I think, and so I mean, there's been back and forth as far as Untumi's involvement in gold illegal mining, is concerned. But much earlier, I mean, Untumi's name came up even during the first Mahama administration, that he's been involved in such things. He brings in the Chinese to mine for him. He's behind a lot of the importation of excavators and so on and so forth. So he's been within the space all this while. I don't know whether any concrete action has been taken against the company, whether or not all the state regulatory bodies, have done any thorough investigation to nail him, sort of. Okay. But fast forward, today we are here, where the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources.
Natural Resources
has held a press conference. You know, the boldest yet, to say that, hey, this is what they discovered. But then they had to go undercover and then identify certain people, certain payments that are collected both in cash and then he mentioned, is it ounces of gold or, exactly. That is
250 grams
of gold. That he's supposed to be.
That's weekly royalties.
Yes, that companies that they had given concessions to are supposed to be paying to Akunta Mining. So more like they had become like a godfather sort of.
Yeah.
Where you collect.
Running the entire
network. A
Mm.
syndicate. I mean, that is serious. They also retrieved guns. And then ammunition and so on. And then arrested Chinese and other Ghanaian.
8 Chinese, 39 Ghanaian men, and 4 Ghanaian women.
Good. The company has denied that and said that they are citing issues of natural justice. They have not been heard. Yeah, the minister has gone to town talking. See, for me, the best thing to do is to put these people before court. But putting them before court, you need to investigate. Okay, and if there's any, any criminal activity that they are involved in, deal with them. Again, the way to deal with it, I went through the statements that the minister read, and I noticed that he was too silent on Minerals Commission. Okay. But mentioned forestry. And then mention some other institutions.
You think he should have gone heavy on Minerals Commission?
Yes, Minerals Commission. I think the whole narrative these days you hear is a clever attempt to dodge, what the involvement of Minerals Commission in all this. I don't know because the government is still keeping AEC in office. There is Martin AEC. The guy who, granted most of these licenses, he's still in office. And the narrative, swerves him. The narrative swerves him. It's like he's put aside. And then, others are the Forestry Commission. Somebody granted the licenses. And the licenses your operations are supposed to meet a certain regulatory, arrangement. Have we investigated that to find out whether or not he's met the terms and conditions
before the license was issued?
Exactly. Or even, once the license is issued, you are supposed to meet certain requirements. Has he met those? Has the company met those requirements? Do you get it? If they haven't, I mean, hey, deal with them.
Then the commission should have acted.
Yeah, the commission, exactly. And so then you can, the institutions or people are paid to do one job or the other. If they are not doing it, go on those regulatory measures. Do you get it? So that the forestry, the destruction of the forest and all those other things, can become, let's say, ancillary to whatever it is that is being discussed. But if, they are not meeting this, they are not doing that, they are carrying guns. Even the possession of guns, you can also even deal with them on that score as well. Are these licensed guns?
The people, the holders, are they licensed gun holders?
To use them. That is another, criminal thing you can deal with. And then the regulatory, they are not supposed to be within the forest. Have they gone into the forest? They are not supposed to pollute water bodies. Are they polluting water bodies? Deal with them on those ones. Then they wouldn't have any leg to stand on. Okay, because as I said, this is not the first time. Okay, so would we say that even under Akufo-Addo, the company was targeted? Okay, we know to miss political whatever. But if we didn't deal with him then, and we are here now, I mean, he could cleverly cite, even if it's me, I'll cleverly cite that thing about political, victimization or witch hunting, and then, I can run away with it. So we need to do a thorough job as far as this thing is concerned as a country.
Dennis, Akunta Mining says they are being witch hunted. They think that this public revocation of their license by the minister is in bad taste. What do you make of this?
I mean, I'm trying to resist the temptation of being seen to be doing PR for Akunta Mining. But I agree with Larry. This is not the first time. I remember on 30th September 2022, the minister, which was Honorable Abu Jinapo, actually issued a statement and said that certain areas that had been alleged that Akunta Mining was mining, they didn't even have licenses, and directed the Minerals Commission to take action. And I think on the 3rd of October, the Minerals Commission issued a statement and indeed confirmed that certain areas that they have been alleged to be mining at, they didn't have the permit.
But they were there.
No, but they also came out to refute the fact that they were mining in those areas.
Okay.
You know, so this statement they released last night is almost the same statement they released in 2022, that they are not the people who are mining in those areas. I remember the 2022 one, they even stated that they were also even struggling in warding off illegal miners within their concession. My worry is, why are we creating an impression as if the war against Galamsey, as we are fighting now, is Akunta Mining? And that's why I'm trying to be very careful, fine line, you know. And so if you don't take care, like Larry said, it's easy for Akunta Mining to say, I'm being witch hunted. It's very, very easy for them to say, I'm being witch hunted. Even though I don't agree with that, because I mean, in 2022, even when Chairman Wuntumi's government was in office, the minister, the Minerals Commission came out clearly to, you know, say that no, you don't have licenses in these areas. But that was the state doing its job. He also came out and said, I am not even mining in those areas you're talking about. Go and find those who are doing those things. Because it's not me. And the same thing is spanning out now.
And the president then came out to say that.
Exactly, of course. Because
but this minister's press or statement or press conference yesterday, he mentioned that Akunta seems to be selling access
to these areas. Jail them. I mean, you see,
that's what I'm saying.
Let me.
It should not end here with this press.
You know, that is the challenge I have. You didn't even have to come and do this press conference yet. You see, that's always the challenge. And it's something, it's a problem with us politicians. When we get the news, we get excited. And then, because if you don't take care, there will be an anticlimax. By the time you realize 2 weeks later, we are here asking what happened to the Akunta Mining issue. And do you know what would have happened? You would probably have realized that you don't have enough evidence. So there's a difference between saying this guy is a weed smoker or looks like a weed smoker and he's a weed smoker. You may see me stealing this cup, but if you don't get the needed evidence, you cannot prosecute me. So I would have thought that instead of coming to do this PR, wait, you have them as you claim. Get all your things done, all your facts ready, gather all your evidence. In fact, let the first news even be at the time where you are in court with them. Then we can be having some conversation. Because otherwise, what happened yesterday had happened in 2022, September. There is nothing new. There was no new information from the information that the minister put out yesterday, from what happened under the Akufo-Addo government when Chairman Wontumi was chairman or is chairman under the government in 2022. There was no difference. So, I mean, I'm asking myself, what next? What next? What is the new information that was shared yesterday? None. I have all the statements here. I have the statement from the minister in September. I have the statement from the Minerals Commission on October 3rd. All the information that was shared yesterday were here. And if you recall, these are conversations that were held at the time when Minister now, Honorable Kofi Boah, was in opposition. And I remember very well the conversation was, hey, because he's an MPP chairman, that is why he's being treated with kids' gloves, even when the minister had come to deny granted licenses to certain areas and all of that. So I would have thought that if you are finally in government, and this is your opposition party's chairman, hallelujah. If he's actually involved in illegal mining, don't come and play back the same videos, the same stories and information that was played under the time when his party was in power. Bring us something new and take him to court. They have been bold. Last night, they have issued a statement and called you out and said that you are bluffing and that they are not doing anything untoward. Take them on. Otherwise, I really don't know what we are discussing. And that brings me back to my worry about Galamsey. I've said it in this studio severally. That anytime you politicize Galamsey, whether you are in government or in opposition, we are doomed. We are in for trouble. And our biggest challenge in this country in the fight against Galamsey is politicization. So recently when I see all the Galamsey stories on air, sometimes I want to laugh. I mean, I want to laugh and wonder, and the NDC because, like, you know, I say, like I told you, I am one that go and check all my submissions, everything on Galamsey. I always plead that we don't play politics with it. I'm from the mountains.
That's why it has become.
I have never seen gold before. I have never seen gold dust before. I really don't care. I don't know what gold is. So I want the issue resolved. You get what I'm saying? But we keep politicizing the
That's why it
situation.
has become.
But
With
then
political actors being, accused
bro,
of
if we
involvement.
continue, you see, okay, if you are fighting it and you really think that, okay, I don't want to politicize this and I want to fight this head on, I don't expect you to come and show only Chairman Wuntumi's video yesterday. Show the Dunkwao, NDC chairman, who was on video on Joy News with his party boys strangling the military men in the Galamsey site and asking them to leave. There's a video. There's also a drone shot of that same Dunkwao area where the land had been destroyed by these NDC people. And then the story is on Joy News. I think City even carried it. Show that video as well. Then some of us would have supported you and said that, well, you are fighting it. But if you shelve the NDC chairman's video, which happened barely 2 months ago under your government, strangling a military man and asking him to leave the Galamsey site, and you come and show Chairman Wuntumi's video only, you make it difficult for me to contribute and support you. Because then I feel that you are targeting my organization because you have singled a member of my organization out, and so I have to protect my organization. That is our challenge. So it was a charade what was done yesterday. The whole video thing and all of it. We've seen these videos before. These alleged Akwanta mining videos, we've seen them before. And they're crying. What was it for? I think that whoever advised the Honorable Minister to cry misdirected him. I mean, we didn't vote for you to come and cry. This is a man that stood in Parliament and told the President in his face that, Mr. President, you are everything that is not, everything that, something about good governance. Everything that good governance is not, something like that.
Yeah.
This is a man that said that they had the solution to killing off this Galamsey minister.
Yeah.
In fact, the cabinet minister for communication, said that if Nana Akufo-Addo was serious, he would end Galamsey in 1 week as president, and that Galamsey shouldn't fester if we have a serious president. So if you are in power, and you are given the mandate to stop this, and you come and cry, we are crying. You have now come to join us to cry. What do we do? Hopeless situation. And I'm very sure last night he would have regretted making that move. I still think that all is not lost. I think that these guys involved in Galamsey are criminals. They don't care about this country. They are selfish, greedy people. I think we have to deal with this matter and deal with it very much. What I am telling all my MPP people is that let's forgive the NDC. They may have gotten it wrong in opposition, weaponizing Galamsey, using it as a tool to kick us out. I mean, 2 weeks to elections, this party in government was supporting civil society organizations calling for a state of emergency, knowing very well that there was an election coming, and if that should happen, the party will lose power. They were backing labor union to go on a nationwide, strike. And demonstration. When he was asked by Bernard on Bernard's show recently about the state of emergency, do you know what he said? He said, no, he doesn't think it's a big deal and we are there. This is a man that barely 3 months ago was calling for a state of emergency. Today, Galamsey has escalated way above where it was 4 months ago. And he says, no, there's no need for a state of emergency. The Deputy Director of Operations at the Presidency, my very good friend, Mustafa Gbandi, I was always with him on your afternoon show on phone.
Yeah.
He kept calling for a state of emergency, kept calling for a state of emergency. You have power. We didn't think that there was a need for a state of emergency. The Ghanaian people thought that, no, your view is wrong. Let's vote for the party that believes that there's a need for a state of emergency. You guys sponsored people to be on the street for 2 weeks, demonstrating, disrupting Accra life because of Galamsey. Now you have power. You are Director of Operations at the President. You know what he said? He said if the country should declare a state of emergency, it would reduce investor confidence. But when you were calling for it 4 months ago, you didn't know that.
Yeah.
But you see, you were calling for it because you wanted your party to simply come to power. But I say, and I say on your show that I do not think that we should hold anything against the NDC on that. They were just doing the opposition job. God being so good, they've won power. I don't think that we should go the same tangents and politicize Galamsey. I think we should support them to deal with it. The NDC will lose power not because of Galamsey. There are several things we could use to get the NDC out of power. Their incompetence is everlasting. You don't need Galamsey to get them out. So let's put Galamsey aside and use other things. But come together, work with them, and make sure that they deal with this matter once and for all. Because our survival is at stake. And we cannot continue to toy with that, anymore. So you see people come and say, hey, you said this, look at you. Let's put that aside. Right now, what we need them to do is to simply implement the specific things they promised the people of Ghana that they will do. Till date, the minister hasn't implemented even one thing that they spoke about as their strategy in dealing with Galamsey. All the things he has been doing.
They launched Blue Water Guards.
There was.
They are going to use chassis numbers to track finances.
Please go ahead.
There's this revocation of Akunta mining.
Police
exactly.
Police
transfer of police commanders in mining areas.
And then sending them to the forest area.
Exactly.
Larry,
they promised to deport Chinese nationals.
Let's be very candid with the issues. Like I said, I support the government. Larry, is it the first time we've had water guards in the waters?
No.
Kuduka has been in the forest areas with them. In fact, as of December 2024, we had river guards. We had them. We gave them boats. We gave them drones. So it's not a new thing.
What are the drones? The drones?
Hold on. Hold on. The effectiveness of it is another discussion. I'm only saying that we have river guards.
No, but people can't trace the drones actually.
I'm saying that the effectiveness of the strategy is a different thing. I'm telling you that we have river guards.
But the presence of the absence of the drones.
It was the drone bit implemented in the first place.
Yes, it was. It was.
Because we've been asking for the drones.
Yes.
We don't know where the drones are.
The interministerial.
The IMCIM.
Yes. They did. In fact, we saw some. They were even shooting and showing some. You can go into that later. The second,
those are not the zip line.
No. The zip line can do that. Zip line can do that. Number two, we've always had Galam Stop operation this, operation that. In
Operation
fact, since 2018 or 2017 mid-year with the City FM productions, we've had police and military permanently in our Galamsey areas and forest areas till December 2024. They haven't left. Okay. So if you mention all these things that had already been in place and was not giving us the needed results, because I don't think those things gave us results. They never did. Why do you think the Ghanaian people voted against the MPP government for you? It is because you promised other things. That was not being done at the time.
But the defeat of the MPP, I mean, it's not solely because of
the referring to the Galamsey bit or the impact it had.
We can't run away from Galamsey. It was a major thing. But I mean, it's not just so, but it was a major thing. So think about this. You come, all these things that you've mentioned that you are doing, they are things that were being done already. The Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, they've had river guards already. Except that ours were wearing blue. And these ones are wearing yellow. That is all. But it's been there.
So
it's
change of name, change of
color. And then it's there. It's something that is at the ministry. It's something that is at the ministry. The police and the ministry, the military, they have always been arresting people. In fact, Akufo-Addo government prosecuted 850 illegal Galamseyers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We asked for the names.
No, it's there.
And Dami couldn't produce them.
You have a new attorney general. Let him produce. It's the same department.
No. He who alleges must prove.
No, but it's the same.
Was the one who said.
Larry, I think to be fair, it's the same department.
Okay.
You understand? It's the same department. So request for it. 85 of them were sentenced. 85 of them were sentenced. Now, showing videos of Galamseyers on TV in news had always been. In fact, your portal, October 2024. Showed Galamseyers, October 2024, who had been arrested from the Galamsey pit and lined up and being taken to police station on your portal. So these things,
they are not new.
Always been there. These are the new things, and I conclude. These are the new things you promised us. You said that immediately, and these were your words, immediately you come to office, you repeal the LI that allows, not amend, repeal the LI that allows mining in forest reserve. You said that you will ban all form of small-scale mining for a while, so that you can sanitize the sector before you reissue licenses. These were your words. Number 3, you said that you are going to ensure that. Oh my! How did I miss this? you're going to ensure that the state of emergency that we refused to call for. You're going to bring the state of emergency. You backed it. You supported it. You were all over the place. In fact, the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, had a virtual engagement, one of those virtual engagements on Facebook, and said that he thinks that the country is in dire need of a state of emergency.
Very well.
My view is that all these three things, none of them requires or needs even 2 days. You have over 180 something MPs repeal the law already. State of emergency, write that one paragraph letter and take it to Parliament and get it
Executive instruments.
Get it done. Until you do these things that you promised us. If you are still arresting people in the Galamsey pit, I even forgot one. You said that you are going to free all the boys who were arrested in the Galamsey pit and let them go home because they are not the main people. And you go after kingpins. Why are you arresting these Galamsey boys and showing them on TV for us to clap for you?
To me is a kingpin.
Yes, so take him to court.
But he's not been arrested.
Yes, you haven't arrested him.
He hasn't been arrested.
So Larry, you haven't arrested him. You haven't taken him to court. You are showing us those boys.
The same boys.
The boys that you said you were free.
arrested.
You are showing them on TV. And you said we should clap
Thank
for
you.
you.
Let me hear from Wanda. Wanda, are we doing enough in this fight? Are we winning?
I'm pretty surprised that we've gotten to a point where the MPP now feels that what we are doing is the same thing they have also done. I'm a bit surprised and taken aback. We have never had this kind of commitment, what I say, political commitment from the ruling party on the combat of Galamsey. Yeah, indeed, you can say that yesterday's press conference by the minister showcased some of the things that have happened in the past. But in the past, the reports we have always had was the report from independent, investigators like the Joy FM guy, your own station, and many other civil society organizations that have been involved in the Galamsey fight. And so it wasn't as though government by itself ever called the media and decided to expose itself. We didn't have that. We are very conscious that what we are even doing now rather dents our image as a party. But for what? To what end? We don't mind. Let the people know what is happening. And that's what we're doing. We're doing also this so that people can understand that there is a certain fight. However, the fight is not a media fight. And yet, if you do make some arrest of people who are involved in Galamsey, let the people know. Let them understand.
A media fight. Then the press conference yesterday, you think was premature?
No, it wasn't premature. And we're losing sight of a few things. I mean, I have taken about 10 points out of what the minister did yesterday, and we shouldn't lose sight of it. Everybody seems to be saying Akonta. The fight is not about Akonta. When the undercover investigators went to that place, it was only Akonta they found. They found other small-scale miners who were doing business. That's how come the bit about reserves or concessions being sold to other miners. And so the key is that if it is Akonta that is involved in the syndicate that is selling out the lands or the reserves or the concessions to the others, then when you get Akonta, you are getting all the others. That's why you will feel that it's about Akonta. No, it is not just about Akonta. It's about the Tano River, pollution. And so these are the issues. Number one, Minister asked for the revocation of Akonta's license yesterday because of the videos, the scary. I mean, if you watch the video, you naturally get emotional. That people, Ghanaians, who are supposed to understand the repercussions of small-scale mining and all the health implications that we have seen in this country, professors, researchers have come out to tell us the impact of illegal mining in this country. And yet, nothing has been done. So one, revoke the license of Akonta mining. Two, he talked about accusations of the criminal syndicates, which we think is wrong. It has to be stopped some way, somehow. And so the minister called for that as well to cease. To the extent that they are even selling concessions on their own when they didn't have the mandate. That's criminal. That's actually, it's unconscionable.
And so that's what Dennis is saying.
You cannot go along that line.
Conclude investigations, pick them up, prosecute them.
I'm getting there. In the same press conference, the minister, the Lands and Forest Minister, Natural Resources Minister, indicated that the case has been taken over by the Attorney General's Department. What did we see in the previous government? In Frimpong Boateng's report, when the report was made known, the white paper that was issued, through the Attorney General's Department, what did he do? He did nothing. He actually freed them. He said they had no evidence.
For results of an investigation.
Exactly. They actually said that they had no evidence to prosecute anybody. And so I am hearing for the first time that some 800 people from my brother have been prosecuted, and eight you said how many?
In jail.
You said how many were charged? 85 were actually in jail. So indeed, I mean the volumes that you mentioned, 800 and something. That should be something that should trigger anybody's curiosity. Number 3, he said that they had no permit for the forest reserve. Indeed, you see, when the statement was made that they were supposed to be mining off the reserve, a lot of people thought that it's in the reserve. When we say off the reserve, it means that there's a reserve, there's a protected area for mining. And here you are very close. However, you cannot be less than 100 meters close to the reserve. This is a case where they have gone into the protected area. In other words, they have incurred themselves or into an area that is not reserved for them. That has not been, they don't have concession for, that has not been granted to them, and they have no business being there. Number 2, they were polluting the rivers as well. The 4th thing that the minister said yesterday was that the protected areas that were under threat was significant. And that should cease. The 5th thing the minister talked about is that undercover investigations revealed that there was an organized network.
I have a problem with the revelation of an undercover operation. Because Akunta is not the only mining company in this country. And so if you come out and tell us that you are sending word out there that I am embarking on undercover operations, so all the others will be alert.
No, you see, there are several infractions of the law in this illegal business. Today, it is a Tano issue. Tomorrow, Dunkwa is coming. He's talking about Dunkwa. That will come there. We'll go all the way to all the other places that will happen. In fact, if you listen to the defense minister, he talked about the fact that they are not relenting on this fight and that they are doing this fight on the quiet. The results will show for themselves. So I think that this is part of the grand scheme of government in order to go after all these illegal miners or galamseyers, if you call them. The 6th thing was that security and forestry officials were implicated to the extent that people who work in the Forestry Commission were also now engaged in colluding with galamseyers to pollute our forests, mining reserves, destroy our forests, recover and all that. This was also captured in the minister's presentation yesterday. The 7th thing was that arrest and seizures of equipment. We're missing many points that the minister put out there. Arrest was made. Over 51 people were arrested, 43 of them Ghanaians. And so these are things ongoing, and these people have been handed over to the Attorney General's department. The CID department is taking over investigations and all that. So a lot of things are happening. Then government's commitment to prosecution. He talked about that as clearly as possible, that the Attorney General has taken over the issue. He also talked about the warning to mining companies. In fact, that the fact that you are a bigger mining company and so you go into the forest because you are given a concession, you bring in small-scale miners and all that. They even talked about the fact that about 250 grams of
250 grams of gold is paid as weekly royalty.
I don't know the market value for that, but that's a lot of money. Indeed, that's going to be money lost to the state and all that. So indeed, we have a fight on our hand. He talked about the fact that the NDC promised that we will repeal the LI. That is on course. We are not shying away from that.
Not amend.
We are not shying away from that. You see, a lot of people use the word and they feel that, okay, we will not understand, or the bigger populace may not understand. If I repeal something, means that I've completely shut it down.
You scrapped it.
Scrap it down. But that doesn't mean that there will not be any other. That LI gives so much laxity and power to the executive arm of government, which is the presidency, to issue a living license without even looking at the minister or the ministry in question. And that we thought that it was unguarded because many people are holding licenses, leases of concession areas that really did not go through the process. If you look at the process of mining or ever getting a license, it will take you minimum 6 months to get it. People are getting it in 1 month, 1 week, 2 weeks and all that. That was reckless, and then that should be stopped. And we cannot continue along some of these lines.
Some licenses were revoked.
Yes, so some licenses were revoked also within the period. In fact, the minister actually directed the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to revoke licenses and to stop them from going to the forest. So indeed, there are a gamut of issues that will be looked at. One step at a time. When did we come into government? It's 100 days. The MPP is in a hurry. They think that we should be doing some magic, to end Galamsey. But they themselves also agree that the fight of Galamsey, it is not a one-day statement. While in government, they have stated this over and again, that it is not a one-day wonder, it won't happen overnight, and that government, we should give them time. How did they all of a sudden now understand that this will happen?
Your promises these promises are not promises that require
I think
long
you should
period.
look for our manifesto, which I'm going to get to you now. You should look for our manifesto and state what we wrote about Galamsey fight. We never said that we were going to fight Galamsey or we're going to end Galamsey in one day.
But you mentioned the repeal.
Of course, we mentioned the repeal.
You have an overwhelming majority in Parliament.
But
why have you not repealed
is Parliament
it yet?
over?
It is not.
It's not.
But if we are committed to the fight, as we
I have mentioned to you that it is not a rash business. We are not fighting so I repeal the act. So
that is one arm of it, one leg of it.
You see, very often we make this argument about repeal or amendment and so on, but the argument is always bereft of what law is there to repeal or which one is being amended.
Is the LI.
The LI.
That has to do with mining.
The 2426.
Okay. Yeah. Mining within the
forest reserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which the previous government and then the NDC in opposition them
said they will repeal.
But then they are now amending it.
Yes, but they promised to repeal, not to amend.
Amend to what?
Just the amendment, we are even wondering what's the amendment, which portions of it. My issue is the NDC has some of the finest legal brains in this country. Yes. So you must have seen the LI before making that promise to repeal.
That's fine. That's fine. No, that's fine. We are not in a hurry to conclude now that because it hasn't happened the last 100 days, it won't happen. No. You agree that the fight is not only about the repeal of the LI. There are gamut of issues to be done. And so repeal is one of which will happen anyway. I have heard the Attorney General commit to that. I've heard the Minister for Lands also, confirm that, and many other people are within the space confirming that. Now, repeal and amend. What does it seek to do? All of them seeks to correct an anomaly in the law. If I repeal a law, it means it's shut down completely. But I can bring back a new one, which brings portions of the old one into it. So this. What do I call it? Grammar about
it's just semantics.
Repeal and amend. Yes, we'll repeal. But there are things in it. It's not that the whole act that people wanted repeal. They wanted portions of it, especially the one that gives the unguarded, access to
reserves.
I mean, to reserves by the presidency and all that. That's a portion that people are against. And for me, I don't think it's a problem at all. We are engaged in this fight as a country, like he stated, and I agree with him. We're engaged in this fight as politicians. We need to protect the future of this country. We always say that gold seems to be a backbone of this country, gold and cocoa and all that. We really haven't made any effort in that, regard.
One is destroying the other.
Today, at least the gold board has come to stay. There will be a lot of reforms within the mining sector. So government is able to reckon the revenue required in that sector. And so this business about, the NDC promised this and they are doing this and doing that, we have a 4-year mandate. We read the budget for only 1 year. We have 3 more years to go. And the fight is a more holistic fight. This is what we did in the past and lost the fight. We think that you need to be ready. These guys are not only armed, they are also being funded by the bigger shot. They are also having to be in the forest reserve in areas that you cannot even see. They claim they have procured some 3 million worth of drones. Same drones, the minister says he hasn't sighted even one yet. And so the fight is not only about
miracles
chasing.
They are available.
Well, he says that.
He saw them in there.
When the former minister was asked, what did he say? He said you should speak to Professor Frimpong Boateng. That's what he said. When Jinapo was interviewed on this matter, where the drones were, he said they should speak to him. He said they had it. So for me, I think that if we go along that line rather, we will be politicizing this whole fight about Galamsey. The fight is an urgent fight. It's a fight that has to be holistic. In fact, it even requires resources to do that. To keep policemen and militarymen in the bushes for that long, you need to be able to resource them. Both weaponized, both having the security intelligence, also having the needed environment to work, and the cooperation even from the chiefs and the people that live in the area. You just saw I think last week, a whole community has been raided, disorganized, and thrown out of that place because they were acting as shield behind those who were working in the Galamsey pits and mines and all that. So it is a fight that should be holistic. I don't think we should politicize it. We're not there yet. Government is doing a lot. We may not get the credit now, but in the long term, you will see that this whole fight has been won by government's approach to dealing with it.
Larry?
Yeah. First of all, I think that for me, I belong to the school of thought that, hey, if out of the politics we'll get a solution to problems, let's go ahead and politicize it.
But let's tease out what works.
Yes, I mean, it is. Listen, these are human beings that are, that are operating. They have their wants as well as their needs. They have their, their approaches vary. Do you get it? Somebody wants us to go by air. Somebody wants us to go by road. Do you understand? What is the objective? The objective here is to keep our water bodies clean. To make sure
our forest reserves
is protected, so that we can breathe, good quality air. We can drink good water. We can eat good food. When we are ill, we can go into the forest and plug whatever medicine or herbal whatever to treat ourselves. Do you understand? And now we don't want to live on a polluted land. Our food is polluted. You get it?
Now we're not even getting proper bushmeat.
Precisely. Thank you. Okay? And so that is where we are. And so if the politicians are haggling over, what is there, I think that we should just try and see that, hey, guys, what are our objectives?
You see, on the politics, I think we should look at it from two angles. The politicization of the issue is one end of it. The dangerous part for me is the political involvement. The involvement of these political actors and the kind of power they seem to have.
Yes. Once there are politicians in the pit,
and that's where the danger is.
And we are expecting the politicians to take the decisions. How wouldn't this be politicized? Do you understand? Miracle mentioned that we are talking about Wontumi company in there. That started, way back. And Miracle, in debating it, mentioned about how some NDC chairman and in Dunkwao, and there are videos as well. I haven't seen those videos. Okay, but I also heard about a certain MP that some chiefs in somewhere, yes, also came out to say that, hey, you know something, this person is involved in this. Okay,
and then Bagben said he was going to investigate that.
Precisely. So the whole thing has been politicized. I've also heard that a day after the MPP was declared, MPP, all the Galapsians who are MPP, everybody moved away from the pit, and then the pit handed it over, to the NDC people. How strange that sound? You get it? But we are here, guys. As I'm saying, we all see, the quality of the water. Okay, the pra, Densu, Sipon, and Cobra, and all that. We've seen them, and it doesn't speak well of us. We are here drinking bottled water, drinking sachet water, and so on. But how about those people who years ago could just walk to the riverside and fetch water for everything as far as their life is concerned? Do we care about them? Do we care about them? Miracle again mentioned about how Dami, I recall Dami, okay, saying that about 850 plus people were being prosecuted. But he never gave us any names. Okay. He talked about how 85 or 80 plus have been jailed. Including who?
He said they've been convicted.
They've been convicted. Their names. In the absence of the names, we can't do anything. We all know about how, ministers on leaving office, documents can't be traced from their previous offices. No, and then they would have said a lot of things and gotten people to believe that certain things have been done. You get it? But I agree with him that I think Boa, with all the back and forth about Nkontah mining, if you want to nail a company like that, the press conference is not the first thing you start with.
Not at all.
It's not the first thing you start with. You get it? Have a so you've done the undercover investigation. Go now formally. Now check whether or not all the all the licenses that have been granted have they met all the regulatory and
requirements?
But most of it, I mean, this Minerals Commission and many of these institutions that we have, Forestry Commission and many others, listen, they are always quick to tell us stories.
And that's where it ends.
And that's where it ends. But you go back and they are the biggest recipients of all manner of bribes. All manner of bribes and inducement. Okay? And then we come and sit here and talk. The other day we were talking about, how many times didn't we talk about it over there?
Yeah.
And then here, and now we are here. Yeah, I'm sure very soon. Yeah.
We even need room outside of
Yes,
this room.
you take us to your gardens to go and start talking about it. And it's the same thing we keep arguing over. I recall under President Akufo-Addo, some national security operatives were busted in the Etiwa forest. TV, we saw them. All over. I'm sure when you Google it right now, you see that.
Yeah.
Not a single one of them was put on trial. Guns were collected from them. We saw their faces and so on. They were using V8 Land Cruiser, state of the art at the time.
Yeah.
Not even one of them. There were about 16 or so. And they were mining deep into the Etiwa forest.
Yeah.
Etiwa forest, you know, I mean, we all know where President Akufo-Addo comes from. So even if your backyard, such a thing is happening, and not just your backyard, people under your directly under your office, national security. Again, Frimpong Boateng came out and gave us a tall list of people who were involved in the thing. We all watched videos about, you know, videos or recordings of where, you know, party event party elements were discussing mining, and so I said, yes, see, petty here, Sika.
Yeah.
We all, yes, it was in the
Charles Bisiu.
Charles Bisiu was also arrested at the point in time. No, he wasn't arrested. He was investigated.
He was fingered in that
exactly.
investigative piece by.
Yeah, but there was one of them who was the parliamentary candidate for Miracle. Please help me. In the Cape Coast, one of the Cape Coast constituencies, who was arrested. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, he was even put in charge of the excavators, and then suddenly the excavators, you know, flew away. Like that.
The excavators, they keep flying. Recently,
another one.
Murtala Mohammed said, he mentioned it on TV3.
Oh, okay.
They got missing.
Ah, okay.
Yes. He said, no, it's on TV3, no, but it's on record. He was on the TV3 Key Point show, and he said that
so we should go beyond the press conferences. We should go beyond the talk. We should go beyond the, you know, everyday discussion to, you know, make the laws work. So far, about 2 laws have been passed. There was one that's supposed to jail anybody who is found to be involved in Galamsey, and then there was one that's supposed to also the forest, you know, mining near the forest one. That's also another legislation. Yeah. So we keep passing legislation. And then we are not allowing the legislation to work. You get what I'm saying?
The one to implement this legislation, is it a matter of being complicit or benefiting of the illegality?
Find out what Abu Jinapor, when he was the lands minister, said. Okay? And what he didn't do. So we take it from his vetting.
Yeah.
What he said at his vetting. Then when he came to office, what he did and what he didn't do. Suddenly, I mean, he's now on the media platforms talking about how now he says that the state of emergency should now be, you know.
No, but that one, he's saying it. He's not saying that he believes necessarily in that. He's saying you said you do it, so just do it.
No, he said it should be done.
No, but Larry, but it's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't believe in it. Yeah. But you said that you believed in it. So if you have come, do it.
But
it doesn't mean that I can't say it. It doesn't mean I can't say it.
In his words, when he was minister, he said it was draconian.
Yes.
So if you felt it was draconian, you should still feel.
No. Hold on. No. Wait. I felt it was draconian. But you insisted. You insisted you do it. For which reason you've been voted for? Why are you not doing it? So I can't say it. I can't tell you to do what you do.
Do you still feel it's draconian?
No, I think it's draconian. I don't think that the state of emergency is going to solve Galamsey. But you said you would do it.
Very well.
You get what I'm saying?
Let me take a break.
No, I thought I was going to have.
Yeah, I'll come back to you. Let me take a break. When I come, Larry will wrap up. Then we'll go another round on this, and then we can move on. This is Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 Television. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Yo, fam, it's that time again. Finals. Oh, yeah. Go TV. Let's go.
Finals.
GoTV, this is too big. The Premier League, La Liga, Champions League, FA Cup, Europa, and more finals. Stay connected to catch all the biggest football finals with your best football friend. GoTV, love it.
Looking for a seamless shopping experience? Welcome to Franco, where everything you need is just a click away. Shop the hottest deals and unlock amazing discounts on our products such as mobile phones, refrigerators, washing machines, Franco air conditioners from 1.5 horsepower to 2.5 horsepower, Franco television from 32 inches to 100 inches, CCTV cameras, laptops, and many more. Download our easy-to-use mobile app. Visit our website at www.francotrading.com. Call the numbers on the screen for any assistance and enquiries. Franco, home of quality mobile phones, accessories, and your home appliances.
Poverty makes you do what you otherwise would not do. Wealth makes you live the way you wish to live. But revenge cancels the lines between poverty and riches.
It's either you're saying something progressive, or I'll just tell your wife that I'm carrying your child.
Where is my father?
Now that he's coming closer to the community,
Papa Pig go forget your own plans, so I go forget my own.
Grateful that you stayed on with us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel One TV. We're having the news review segment. Larry Dogbe is here. Wanda Madilo is here. Dennis Abuaje is also here. Larry, you had the floor. Wrap up on.
The miracle. Okay, so
yes,
I think that we should go beyond the press conferences.
Yeah.
And be action oriented.
Concrete action.
Exactly. Press conference, social media, all that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, if when the water is clear and wholesome to drink, I mean, people would people will see.
That's the true measure of the fight.
Exactly, of the fight.
If the water begins to clear up, then we know there's an actual fight ongoing.
Sometimes you go certain operations, nobody, but nobody will know about it. By the time you woke up, everything is cleared. People have moved on.
And that's what I'm about. That's why I have a problem with this press conference and
you saw,
revelations.
The killing of Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
I mean, the SEAL landed, did everything, took the body away. I mean, but for that helicopter that, crashed, nobody would have noticed that anything of a sort had happened. That is how security people are supposed to operate. Those who are supposed to see a certain video, they see it. Years on, it can be declassified, and then you see. But this thing where, they move and, with the help of a phone, everybody is taking a picture or they are doing, live video of Galamsey's side. People will hide things. People will know that from here they are coming here. From there they are going there. Then you don't get to solve anything. And our water bodies are being polluted. I'm saying, I want to ask. So, what does, to me, have a refinery?
I don't know about
how does he refine his gold? All the gold bars that he showed us, how did he refine them? Okay, at the end of the day, he ends up in the water being polluted because he needs water to crash to crash those rocks, and after the rocks are crashed, to wash them and then get the gold out of it. How was he doing that? So obviously, pollution is taking place some way, somehow. We need to get there. We need to get to the bottom and get the regulatory agencies working.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay.
Thank you, Larry. Dennis.
I am begging. And I'm begging Honorable Ibua.
In about a minute.
No, you can't do that. I beg you. I beg you. And I'm saying it's the most pressing matter right now. I am begging him.
To stop crying.
He should stop crying. He should stop crying. I worked with the local government sector. So I know for a fact that in this country, illegal mining it's happening in 75 districts. That's a fact. 75 out of 261. So it's not like the whole Ghana. And I also know for a fact that it's happening in about 529 communities. And we have the list of these communities.
You had this while you were in power?
Yes, yes. And out of the 529
Can you share
communities,
some with you?
oh yes, it's something I can share. Out of the 529 communities, not all of them are doing river mining. Some are actually doing illegal mining, but in the, other places, like on land.
On shore.
Yeah. So by the time you are done separating all these things, you would have been left with, I've forgotten the exact number, but a certain number of communities that are like urgent in terms of pollution. Right. I mean, somebody is mining in some forest area, it's bad, but it's not as bad as the river.
Yeah.
So we can target these river bodies and deal with them before we go to these areas. The point I'm making is that we have tried several strategies in fighting Galamsey. This starts now from 2011, when Professor Mills first chanced on illegal mining with Chairman Potofi, somewhere in Chebi, in a cocoa farm. That was the beginning of this type of Galamsey. I mean, there used to be Galamsey, that's why the name is there.
You remember what
you know, 2011, we've tried several things. What we are doing today, what Honorable Boy is doing today, for which reason is crying, it has been in place as of January 7, 2025. He is not the one who introduced it. The ministry that he is at, that ministry has always had military and policemen in the forest. As at the time he was being sworn in. There's been a military dispatch there in the forest all this while.
But unfortunately, you know the soldiers were also involved in the Galamsey.
Oh yes.
To a point where even operating in Galamsey side became more lucrative for them.
They want to be transferred. They want to be posted there. Yes, they want to be posted there.
Yeah.
Number 3, having river guards, they've always been there. His ministry. When he goes there, he realized that he's been there. Arresting Galamseyers, seizing the excavators, putting fire into chamfans, putting fire in excavators. Your portal is reporting as at October 2024 that these things are being done. People are handcuffed, being moved. So these are old strategies. For Christ's sake, there are new things that he and his government spoke about. Honestly speaking, that is all we are asking. And that's why I disagree with Wanda when he says that, where is the rush? We are not rushing. We are also not necessarily advising the NDC on what they should do. Because in all sincerity, our strategies didn't give us the needed results. So it is fair when you say that we cannot advise you. That's true. All we are asking for is implement the things that you said you would do.
Because you believe in them, or just because they said that they should do it?
No, because they are new.
Including the emergency.
Including the state of emergency. Including the stop the arrest of the boys in the
Which you didn't believe in.
Yeah, but they are new things. You understand? They are new things that you promised. Don't forget that if that is the argument about we believing in, then this government shouldn't do anything new. We should just give them our manifesto and they implement.
Right.
We had our principles, philosophies, and ideas. You disagreed. You proposed something else. The people bought into your proposal. Why are you doing the things that we were doing? It's like you are doing our ideas. Why are you doing our ideas?
But Mira,
do yours.
They said they are looking for the drones.
Do yours.
The drones will never find.
You know what I mean? You understand?
Let's
do yours.
No, but the drones is part of the Galamsey.
Number two.
By just, I mean.
Number 2. Wanda should understand. Wanda should understand that repeal and amendment are not just semantics. They are completely two different things.
Where did you say that?
I beg you. Oh no, you said it's just semantics and it
I'm
doesn't
saying
matter.
that the effect of it. That's what I said.
And again, do what you said you would do. You repeal first. You understand? I mean, that is sincerity to the people.
But if you repeal, then there's nothing to amend.
No, so repeal first and introduce another one.
That's fine.
Because you knew that there was a difference between repeal and amend. And you kept saying, we'll repeal. Do you know the impression that has on the psychology of the voter? As for you, you are being brutal and drastic. You understand? So you can't come and now begin to say, we need to just, you can't do that. The other one also is that we are not asking you to do magic. We are only, you see, the NDC, it's their words fighting them. All these things that we are going, it's their own words. We haven't even said anything yet. It's all the things they said. The president on platform tell the people, more accommodate more. And about call Galamsey, Petino, move where how much more, and penny for no one crying. Me jamo, na me the machine, some na ma kofie, na ma coaching penny for no. Hey, these are not my words. These are your words. You understand? These are the president's words. the state of emergency is imminent. It's important that we do it. Now, Galamsey is being done in the center of the towns. When you're going to Enyinem by the roadside. Osino, at the marketplace. It's escalated.
That has always been there.
No, allow him to.
Galamsey has escalated than it was barely 4 months ago. We've never had a time where an MPP chairman holds a military man on a bridge and say, what are you doing here? It is being done on the NDC. NDC chairman Swansea, in Dunkwao. Chairman Swansea is holding the neck of the military man. It's on video. Joy has reported it and saying that, what are you doing here? And Joy shown the drone shot of the chairman and his party people. Joy News shown the drone shot of chairman and his people having destroyed the land and the extent of destruction. It is there. So if the minister comes to cry, showing only destruction from one company in one area, don't forget that there's a certain lie, or a certain, not even lie, I withdraw that. There's a certain misleading in the minister's position. So the minister says that I've revoked the license for Akonta mining. Why? Because I've shown videos of a certain mining going on in the Tano River. Akonta mining has come out.
Tano Nimiri Forest
Akonta mining says that we don't even have a license on Tano Nimiri. So which license have we revoked? I don't know if you are getting it. They do not have a license to mine in Tano Nimiri. So if you say you revoked licenses, which licenses have you revoked? Because they don't even have license in that area, and they are not even mining in that area. You have no license there. So arrest them and jail them. Because you haven't really revoked any license for which you courts there. Deal with them. No, I beg you. You let me finish. But please even the ministry of Lands and Minerals Commission actually have issued statement that Akonta mining actually applied for it, and they were never granted. And yesterday they confirmed that we don't even have a license in that area.
But they are in the area.
They are not in the Tano Nimiri forest. There is allegation. There is allegation. There is allegation. So all I am saying is that the revocation of the license is just it's misleading. It's neither here nor there. You understand? It's neither here nor there, because even if you have a license and you are mining illegally, that is the crime. You understand? And I keep hearing the NDC always say, it's even in their manifesto or their 120-day social contract. We will ban illegal mining. How do you ban armed robbery?
So how do you ban?
How do you ban armed robbery? How do you ban rape?
Was that the word?
Yes. I have the social. I have it. When you say no, you know me. I don't just speak. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you do that, you are driving me.
Then wrap up.
I'll wrap up. But let's establish a fact. I have it here, and I'm going to read it. The NDC's 100-day social contract. This is it. This is it. And I will quote. I mean, it's fair to the people. And this is what they said they would do in the first 100 days. Ban illegal and new mining activities. How do you ban illegal? It's their words. That is why I keep don't do that one. You know, some of these things when we are campaigning, we lose track of it. So don't put yourself in that situation. You didn't write it. You're a party member, but you didn't write it. So there's a lot of misleading PR going on. This is not the first time. And I hear one say that, they are shining light on the illegal mining, so they are doing something. You know, when we started shining light on illegal mining, City have always been embedded in Galamstop. All the media houses, they are embedded. They are permanently embedded with the military and the police in those areas. Let's stop this conversation. Let's pause. Let's stop it. It won't give us any results. What we should do is what Larry was talking about. Where we have gotten to, let's go not just after politicians. We are mistaken. In this country, one of the reasons why a lot of things don't get solved is because we pick on the low-hanging fruit, the politicians. Listen, the Forestry Commission guys, those guys you don't know, those guys who are not politicians, the people you have sent to the forest to go and catch those guys, they are the ones who are enriching themselves out of Galamsey. I bet you, all the areas that you've seen excavators being bent, go there next 2 months. You will see them there.
Very well.
The communities you've gone to bend, go there in the next 2 months. The district police commanders, the police divisional commanders, the forestry people, the district BNI, the military people, they are all involved. So we need a complete reorientation.
So
that the good ones will be the ones in the mining areas, then the bad ones will be removed from there.
Thank you, Dennis. Wanda, you mentioned the security people, the police and all that. 34 of them have been reshuffled in mining areas.
The new ones are also
And
happy.
that's part
So
of
they are also going
The
to.
new ones are happy.
It's their turn to
Oh,
talk.
they are happy. The
It's
new
their
ones are
turn
happy.
to
I'm
talk.
telling you.
No, you see, in one breath, we agree that this is a national challenge or problem or crisis that needs solution, and it needs a holistic solution. We don't care who is involved in Galamsey, whether it's NDC or MPP. Our strategy is not to go after MPP. You know, I mean, the fight has started for all this while. How many MPP names did you hear? How many? How many that we went after? And is it because Wontumi is regional chairman and so? In any case, we're not dealing with Wontumi. The Akonta Mining is a limited liability company, I suppose, and so has a private and single identity and a legal identity. So the deal here, or the company we're dealing here, is not Akonta Mining. I'm not sure he's the only shareholder in that company.
So it's not Wontumi.
It's not Wontumi. It's Akonta Mining we're dealing with here. Number two, the strategies the NDC has deployed, if this was done as rigorously as we found in the 8 years of the MPP, perhaps Galamsey wouldn't have festered to this level. It is the festering. It is a festering of Galamsey. It is the wanton disregard for our laws. It is the collusion by politicians at the time in government that has gotten us to this level. To the extent that you have a sitting president of the republic, clear this same Akonta Mining, and said that they had no evidence and that Akonta Mining is no longer in the forest reserve and all that. So.
And did they appoint Frimpong Boateng?
Exactly.
You repeated a lot of
exactly. You get my point. So there was a certain posturing from the political elite at the time.
Is it different now?
Of course, it's different. It can be.
Is there evidence?
It can be.
Is it in court?
Sure, it's different. And so a lot of people are thinking that it's Wontumi and it's about Wontumi, and nobody cares about Wontumi. We're not careful about what Wontumi does or doesn't do. I mean, the showcasing of gold and what he has and all that, well, that will be dealt with at another level. However, it is Akonta Mining's illegal activities that is
fair.
I mean, yes. Well,
okay. You just say.
Yeah, you know. I mean, until
Munda.
Allow me to make my point. Now I'm saying that.
How are you going to
call it alleged, but the reason I'm not careful to call it alleged is that. This is not the first time this is coming out. That one. Number two, from their own report, Frimpong Boateng's report,
okay. You don't
never even say alleged.
You don't say alleged.
Rumors can be spread about you, but that doesn't mean it is true.
In Frimpong Boateng's report, he didn't even state alleged. He said that there were political elements. Yes, very categorical, and even named.
Don't say alleged. We are waiting for the prosecution.
Hold on. And now. What's happening is that new evidence have sufficed or arrived, and we will get into that. Right. It's just a matter of time. This business about do it. You say you will do it. Do it. We can understand that pressure. I mean, we've been there before.
But just let me take one second. Yeah. You recall Frimpong Boateng was dragged before the special prosecutor.
Yes.
And then the same Frimpong Boateng got sued by some of President Akufo-Addo's appointees who operated from the Jubilee House at the time.
Named
in the report. Yeah. You get it?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, that is quite striking.
Exactly.
But then the most interesting part of it was where, when during the second term, President Akufo-Addo repeated most of his ministers. But Frimpong Boateng, who was,
but is it most?
You see, his role was critical.
We're discussing Galamsey.
I thought you were going to mention his son's involvement.
I don't want to.
Because at the point, his son was allegedly involved in.
No, we saw him.
You like allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
So the political commitment to the fight for me is key. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's NDC or MPP, as long as you have the height of governance against the process or what is happening, then you can be able to direct your subordinates to go along that line. And that's what we're seeing today. If we got this, if we didn't get that kind of collusion, that in a government where one of your own, a report you actually directed to be to be investigated and brought to you, brings up a document, and all of a sudden we're seeing people sitting members of your government are beginning to sue each other. Oh, you mentioned my name in the report, and so I'm going to court. It's defamation. Is this and that and that and that and that. And then at the end of the day, the head of government at the time comes out to clear the so-called company, Akunta Mining, of course, that was engaged in Galamsey. We can't tell what evidence President Akufo-Addo had at the time to say that they are no longer in the forest reserve. You know, when he said they were no longer in the forest reserve, did he mean that they were?
Previously they were.
They were in the reserves. So we did not have time to analyze some of these issues. And we think that now we have at least a president who is committed to that fight. And that fight we will win.
But you're crying. You are crying. How does crying solve the thing?
Again, that's what? That distraction.
If you saw that video, man is crying that we are in trouble.
If you saw that video,
we have seen that
you
video
didn't
before. When we saw it,
you didn't see it before. No, this is new evidence.
We have seen
no, this is new evidence.
How is the minister?
If you saw that you didn't cry, then we can understand the position of your government. No, because if you saw that, then you didn't cry.
Why was he crying?
Because if you saw that, and you don't cry, then it means that of course, I wept.
Dennis, you are happy.
My heart was broken.
Dennis is heartless.
Dennis, you must be happy. There's no solution.
He was crying.
No, that's not true.
Let me just take a few messages here.
But we need to find the drones.
We need to. Dennis will lead us. Dennis will lead us. Dennis will lead us.
But how difficult is it?
That's about 48 million.
Oh no, but the fact that you are empowered.
Where did you live?
No. There will be documentation to show.
No, there's no documentation.
No. But this thing, when you get to sit in an office, you see whether it is actually there and is missing,
or it was never there.
Or it was never.
But you mentioned that when Abu Jinapor was asked, he says they should ask the previous minister.
Not even the minister. He was talking about
before what? So he was in office. He could have told us that. Listen, this is.
Boaz says he hasn't cited.
We're exhausting all the time.
So what is Boaz saying?
Boaz says he hasn't cited.
No, you should find people.
He will find them.
Thank you.
You should look for the people. You should lament.
Says it's consequential we set aside our political differences, converge to fight illicit mining as fighting terrorism, and hold all the astronomically big fishes responsible. We must do all we can to protect or defend our forest and what's this your big English.
Big words.
Hydrogen monoxide. Boss, Charlie, we are not having a science class. Sometimes make the message short and brief so that we can just read it. This one says, good morning, Channel 1 TV. Christian from Sandema. Sam George and NDC told Ghanaians that they need just 1 week to deal with Galamsey. Now they are 4 months in power and we are still talking about Galamsey. Government revokes Akunta Mining license. It's no news. Over 40,000 innocent Ghanaian workers have been sacked from their jobs because they're MPP members. So this one is not different. Okay. Alaji Hamza from Pig Farm. Oh, Alaji Hamza. This message is too long now. Truth be told, the revocation of the license of Akunta Mining Company has been long overdue. My brother, you remember in 2022, the former minister, we've established, he was being protected in this country. Let us not forget that Galamsey is an act of terrorism and genocide against the state, and they must not be treated with kids' gloves. Functions of the MPP are out there saying this is witch hunting. Thank you. Keep the message short, Alaji, so that we can read everything. Abdul Ganiu Mankarigu from Savannah says, just 4 months in office, a whole minister who is to solve the Galamsey problem is now crying. Why? So who's now going to solve the Galamsey problem? MPP government in 8 years dealt with serious national issues, COVID, Russia, Ukraine, Galamsey.
It also means that you're compassionate.
Right, Grandpa from the University of Ghana says, Ghanaians must wake up. What we are witnessing today is not a fight against illegal mining. It is a state-sponsored media circus designed to fool the masses. Wow. Listen to this. Bright Grandpa says, what we are witnessing today is not a fight against illegal mining. It is a state-sponsored media circus designed to fool the masses. The government's loud proclamations against Galamsey are nothing but noise, with no real intent to solve the problem. Instead, they've chosen a convenient scapegoat in Akunta Mining and Chairman Wontumi, hoping to deflect blame and silence scrutiny. Bryce Kampa from University of Ghana.
No, I don't have a view.
He does not. Very well. What you might have a view on, however, is a thank you tour. In 1 minute, tell us about the thank you tour. You are spokesperson 2024 Dr. Bawumia campaign. Yes. He's embarking on the thank you tour from tomorrow, I think.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Are you going?
1 minute.
Yes.
Okay.
What are you thanking them?
I mean, as part of our social values, when somebody does something for you, no matter how small, you go and say thank you for that. I mean, we went into an election, a very fiercely contested one. and about 41.75% of Ghanaians voted for us. It's fair that we go to them and say thank you for their belief in our party and in our presidential candidates. And that's something that's been done every time. You know, so if you want to ask me what I go to thank you for, ask him what did Mahama go to thank the people for when he lost by 1 million votes. You know, so I mean, it's just part of our social. You know, so as part of the tour, we'll also be engaging our party people. You know, we are in a rebuilding process, and so as part of the recommendations from the Professor Michael Quay's report, we'll be sharing with the various regions and constituencies what is there for them to do specifically, and then they will get that done as well. So yeah, I mean, from this Saturday to about June 4th, that's basically what the 2024 flag bearer and the leadership of the party will be doing across the country.
Well, Dennis, thank you. We wish you well. Some say the defeat cut them too deep, so they are starting campaigning early.
No, not just too deep. You know, their own report has brought some damning.
Have you seen the report?
Information. I've cited part of the report.
Official.
It's coming in bits and pieces.
Is it official?
What do you mean by official? Which one is official?
Because we are seeing things flying about.
The report is
we are not titled.
So we'll get there. We'll get there.
I want to say I was putting the
Let me get there.
You were there.
I was holding steps because
you suck the others.
These are things tied by one eye. These people. You know, remember the Kwesi Bojo report.
Did you type any of them?
No. I'm saying you remember that report.
Yeah, but
when it came out and we started reading it and they came out.
Oh, it came out.
Oh yeah, but we saw that report.
An executive summary of that report.
Yes. The media everybody saw. But our report is not out.
It's not only the executive summary that is out. We have the full report.
You have it.
And we'll be serializing it very soon. No, but let's go to the business of the day. I'm particularly happy that he wants to go to the grounds. He wants to go to the grounds and hear for one more time why they lost the elections. It's good. I mean, it will foster some unity. Safe to say that if he goes out, he should speak well. Because one of the things in the report is that they were reckless in their choice of words. They disrespected Ghanaians. And that's what has brought them to where they are. So my only advice...
Are you advising them? They'll use it against you.
No, it doesn't matter. My only advice for our senior brother and former vice president, Baumia and his team, and Miracle is that they should be temperate in their language, criticize where necessary, and be honest. Not to say that COVID is the only reason they failed in government.
Oh, Russia, Ukraine.
You added one. I thought it was just COVID. So we will be waiting to see. We'll be watching them closely to see what they are doing on the grounds. And then when he gets to Upper East, instead
of fixing the issues of the country.
When he gets to Upper East, there's Galamsey in Upper East as well. But when he gets to Upper East, he should also be very conscious of the conflict situation. I'm particularly happy that is going. We need a more concerted effort in resolving the Boku conflict. It's getting out of hand. So I would call on His Excellency Baumia. And that has been his region until the new creation. So he should show love to that place. One of the major
president should measure his utterances and the conflict to be solved.
Where finally means what?
The president should measure his utterances.
Wonder, you don't have to respond to that.
Okay, that's fine.
And you know when Larry is interjecting, he doesn't have a family. He's only
Anyways, Larry, the MPP and its 2024 flag bearer embarking on a thank you tour. What do you make of it?
Thank you. First of all, I think that the MPP would have to be candid with Ghanaians. So several factors led to their defeat. And I had expected that, they would put the content of that report out for all of us to see. Okay? In his language, they will say that Nyansa and Nidia. Thank you. So, they should make the report available. This thing where they tell you that, the report is not out. However, part of the recommendation is that we should be doing A, B, C, D.
They are internally analyzing the report.
So meaning that you are keeping it to yourself. It's like apoconcro. Then you just check.
So where it matters to you, then we'll call you.
I think if you let me explain this to you, maybe it will help.
Okay.
You see, when you do an election review, and the report comes. First of all, the report is not a compilation of lamentations and quotations like they are putting it. Because some of the things are laughable. He said I got up and a big man bow, I squeezed his balls and bit it.
And then instead you chop some wild money.
Let the $9 million.
How hot was it?
So it's not a compilation of lamentations. It's a strategic document.
Very well.
It's a document that looks at what happened. What didn't we do right? What could we have done better? And what we need to do moving forward.
Right.
You can't put such a document out for your political opponent to see.
No, we are not putting.
No, relax. In all fairness, it's like saying that your newspaper herald, you go for your end of year strategy meeting. You come back and you publish your strategic document for the year 2020.
Yet you found ours.
Like you ceded your time to Dennis to explain to you his report.
For me, I think that.
Thank you.
Oh, that's all.
We need to go. We're at 56. We need to go now. But thank you so much, gentlemen. This has been good. We're grateful to you for your time. This has been the news review segment here on Breakfast Daily. My name is Nanatu Boateng. Thank you for watching. Do stay with us. We have more on the show.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world. Piva Drink adds a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees emergency. Mommy chop money emergency. Emergency. Catch it. I'm your rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town.
More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got.
Dial star 770 hash for all your money emergencies and chop life.
Dial star 770 hash for money emergencies and get easy and quick access to your money, loans, and other banking needs. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Do you want a healthy smile?
Are you anxious about dental visits? Do you often cancel or reschedule your dental appointments to avoid the stress? Hi, I'm Tanya from Bethel Dental Ghana. We understand that dental anxiety is real and can be overwhelming, but it shouldn't stand in the way of getting the dental care that you need. Introducing Conscious Sedation Dentistry. Conscious sedation dentistry options ensure a calm and relaxed experience for patients to receive the necessary dental care with less stress. This means you do not need an escort to accompany you home. Nitrous oxide helps you to feel calm and comfortable while still being able to respond and follow directions. Bethel Dental Clinic, your partner in relaxed dentistry for a healthier, happier smile.
Healthy smile.
What's cooking? You are very welcome to the show where we stir up delicious meals.
So who's Lali and who's Lola? Okay, should we confuse her?
Give me small water. A little more than you pour everything. So now if the thing doesn't cook well, who should
it you?
We share inspiring stories.
I was planning to move to Ghana and I was looking for tea. Whenever I come to Ghana on holiday, I was always looking for different types of tea.
You were really in the UK before?
Yeah, I was in the UK.
And we savor every single moment at the dining table.
I said, what's cooking? Nobody minded me. But as the judges here, in fact, all rise.
Why are you like this?
Because I'm going to judge you.
My name is Apioko Seiram Ashong Abe, and I am your host. Apioko is enough for me, and here on the show, I'm ready to take you through everything that you need to know in the kitchen of kitchens.
Wow. It's beautiful. It's really lovely. Really fragrant. It's almost like perfume. Yeah.
What is macaroni pie? If you ask any Barbadian, they'll tell you that one of their favorite dishes is macaroni pie. So it's time. Grab your apron, sharpen your knives, and get ready to get cooking with me right here on What's Cooking.
What's Cooking is brought to you by Tasty Tom, Kivo Pepper, and Susie Herbal Center.
Welcome back. You're still live on Breakfast Daily right here on Channel 1 Television, and thank you for staying with us. We're about to again have another interesting conversation this morning. As always, we'll be coming to some communities near you, so you may want to stick and stay with us right here on the show. And very importantly, we love to get in touch with you, or we love to connect with you. So you can do so by sending us a WhatsApp message on the WhatsApp number on your screens, 020-444-7033. That's the WhatsApp number. If you want to reach us via socials as well, you can do that via X using the hashtag Breakfast Daily, or you can log on to our YouTube at Channel 1 TVGH and then leave a comment in the comment section down below. My name is Jifa Kedi Akoto. I do this segment with Philip Nilate. But need I remind you that Seasons of Prayer is still ongoing right here on the City 97.3 FM. So if you've missed the Midnight Cry, which happened between the hours of 12 a.m. and 1 a.m., or you missed This Is Your Day that happened earlier this dawn, 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., you have nothing to worry about at all, because Prayer Encounter will be coming your way at 12 noon to 1 p.m. and it's going to be live on our Facebook channel. So you can just log on to City 97.3 FM's Facebook Live and then join. I know by that time, since work has resumed after the long holiday, most of you will be busy at work, but it's just around the time that most people go on lunch break as well. So you can take 5, 10, 20 minutes out of your lunch period and then pray silently. This is a season that we need to pray. Even the Bible says that we should pray without ceasing. So I don't know what excuse you would make for not praying without ceasing. There's really no excuse for not praying. And we've made it such that if you weren't able to catch up the Midnight Cry or This Is Your Day, which happens at the time most people are enjoying their sleep, you can also take part of the noon one. So log on to our socials or our Facebook Live at City 97.3 FM and take part. And remember that this is a lead on to May 1st. We'll be having our family consecration also right here on Channel 1 TV as well as City 97.3 FM. And this is happening on Thursday, 1st May 2025. The time is 6 a.m. to 12 noon. It's a time of prayer. It's a time to speak to God, to pour your heart out. And then, as I said yesterday, I mentioned that during when we were crossing over into 2025, most of us, or personally, you may have some New Year resolutions. You have something that you're looking up to God for. Sometimes when you are praying so hard and then the blessings are not coming, it is not because your prayer is not reaching God. Sometimes you need to put in a bit more effort. You know, you need to talk to your Father, talk to Father Jesus, and then He would release all the blessings onto you. So join us on the 1st of May. Let's have a great encounter with Christ. Let's have a great moment with Christ at the family consecration and unlock that blessing. Look, you may never know what that day, just that day of prayer or that 4-hour prayer session from 6 to 12 noon prayer session will do to you. I have seen people share testimonies. I have seen people unlock their opportunities at the family consecration. So do be a part of it and then join us and let's have an amazing time. Also, we need to say a very big thank you to you. Yes, you, because you made it possible. Yesterday we had the Easter Orphan Project right here at Channel 1 Television, and you made it possible. As I said, we came to you to solicit funds and also ask that you come along with us and by way of sending in your donations, your widow's mites, your everything that you guys sent through was very, very helpful, because due to that, we were able to put smiles on the faces of the less privileged, on the faces of those who do not have somebody to call daddy or somebody to call mommy. But because of you, we made that possible. And as you can see, the smiles on the television screens, it's very heartwarming that these children also felt a part of the Easter celebration. Easter is a time to remember the death and resurrection of Christ. So it was just a beautiful time spent with them. And we say thank you so much for coming through for us. And next time when we call on you, we are sure that you will still come through for us. So we appreciate your donations. We appreciate all your contributions sent to us right here at Channel One TV and, of course, City 97.3 FM. We'll be getting into our community conversations quite shortly. But before that, let's enjoy some good music. And when we come back, the show continues. Do stay.
Jua, Namini Begro. I'm not say, Lady Diana, Obea, Namini Begro. I say, I'm not say, my darling, Obey, Namini Begro. Oh, now, Penny Papra, why am your Bajua say, so I'm penny was the more on the bedroom. You see, Obian in it up way. I'm watching the morning of 4 hours. I slow down, I slow me down. Hold your corner, me dear boy. I'm still behind in it. All right. I don't
Wow, Wow, Henage and Glory, thank you so much for that beautiful, beautiful music. Philip, we are back like we never left.
We are back.
How did you spend the rest of your day yesterday? Because, I mean, after the show, you were out of the office. How was the day for you?
Well, I had to go do one or two things in town and also get ready for today.
So you didn't holiday at all?
No. Friday, I was here. Saturday, I was here. Saturday, I actually stayed here till after Siena. Sunday, same.
Wow.
Yesterday. So
you didn't even attend any Easter picnic?
No, nothing.
You need to find time to do that.
Maybe it was just home and sleeping. That's it.
Well, the rest is very much needed. So.
Yes, very important. So we are here today. Yeah. It's just interesting. We are moving away from the water issue. We are moving away from electricity. We are moving away from waste, and we are bringing you something present. I'm sure you've heard of RED.
Yeah.
Unimed. And the abuse of drugs in some communities, and that is being done by the youth of these days. But let's take you to a community called Bubuashi, Cable and Wireless. I'm sure you may have heard of that area before. The residents there are complaining that the youth are engaged in the usage or drug abuse, and that has resulted in theft, insecurity in the area, among other things. Emmanuel Opom, my colleague in the city newsroom, visited this area. For the report, let's bring you that report after we have a conversation here.
For many, Bubuashi is more than just a neighborhood. It's a place of memories, community, and belonging. But for those living near Cable and Wireless, that sense of security is fading. What was once a relatively calm area is now being marred by rising incidents of drug abuse, theft, and youth unrest.
This neighborhood in front of me is known for a whole lot of activities, the good and the bad. But for me, I think this neighborhood has done or is doing a lot of harm than good, because the youth are all into drugs. They cannot work. So I am pleading with anybody in charge, specifically the MP for this constituency, Okankwe South, Honorable Ernest Adomakun, to see to the situation and then take corrective actions as soon as possible.
Residents say the impact is being felt across the community. Many women now avoid early morning trips to the market, fearing potential attacks. They point to high youth unemployment and lack of opportunity as contributing factors, but say the unchecked spread of drugs and lawlessness in Cable and Wireless is accelerating the decline.
Brasto ye nimna security ni bi ofre jumeba na nipa mi no mo pese mo gye ni moto na laki on so ye ne se no okutatuo e na mo timi etwitwa gye no mienu so kra aha na mo gye okogye wo park yi so miensa so kwan so ge bi twam na boys mi no muti moto so na o mo ye so mo hwim ge ne phone nti ge no dwane ewura afie bi mu ama obi epie ye onipa ni pie no wanto omo na omo abeduru ha na nipa ni sa call.
A walk through the enclave reveals a chaotic and unsanitary environment, with squatters crowding the space and daily life unfolding without much concern. While some young people dismiss claims of criminal behavior, they did acknowledge being involved in other disturbing activities.
The smokes there is compulsory. Here we smoke, but we are not actually ruffians or stealing things. But if you talk about the smoke there, we are all smokers.
Despite the troubling report, there is some hope. Aminu Ahmed, a member of the Dakuma Neighborhood Watch community, says community-led efforts are underway to address the issue and restore safety.
Even yawo omo Dakuma hano no mo say omo shiwi omo shitramo ni sanyamano enti ewo mu a no mo attacking nkrofo information ni ba am yeti da kuma neighborhood no esuti ye be clear cable no mu nyina enti all of them omo dwane kwhye agbogoloshi enti amada kuma hu da ho ba ye clear agbogoloshi pam wo mu nyina afi wo no mu nyina dwane esan ba da kuma de samu manya sa information a well yesu ye die ni betu wa hwe ejuma e bia na enyema ye ni ama ehu agogo kakra nti ye be kan ye hu.
So that is the concern raised by residents from Bubuashi, Cable and Wires. You can join us via text 0204447033 and you can share with us your thought on this story. And also, if you stay in that area, let's know your concerns on this issue because it's a very pressing issue. We know that not long ago, the National Security Ministry came out with something, say, see something, say something.
Yeah.
So with see something, say something affords a resident the opportunity to get in touch with the security agencies when you come across somebody ordinarily you don't know in a community or you think that every attitude of the person is sort of suspicious. And you'd want to report to the police, and the police can also take action, deal with the issue, and try and get the issue on course. But with this particular situation coming from Cable and Wireless is very pressing. And the fact that they said it's attached to a drug abuse. Yes. You don't know what the Unim Red, after taking Unim Red, you don't know what is going to come out of it.
The campaign on the Red was launched. I was hoping to see more proactiveness in, solving this whole drug abuse issue. But, this is where we are now. And this happens to be in the heart of Accra.
Of course.
Somewhere in the heart of Accra.
It's just behind Kanishi. So if you don't know Bubuashi, behind Kanishi, the Accra Academy, the senior high school, behind this Bubuashi area or Dakuma Road, you would get to Bubuashi. I'm told we have somebody on the line. We have
David Abalo, who is the Sub-Metro Chairman, Okankwe South Assembly Member. Hello, David. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for making time to join us.
Thank you.
Right. I'm pretty sure this issue has come to your attention. Has it?
No.
Oh, okay. So then I suppose you're seeing the report for the first time right here on Breakfast Daily or Channel 1 television.
Yes, my first
Okay,
time.
and if I may ask, what do you have to say about it? Because, you've seen the report and how pressing or how disturbing it is from the engagements with some of the constituents. What do you have to say about that?
Unfortunately, this is something that's happening, let me say, across the Sub-Metro. It's not only Cable and Wireless. When you go to Azeno, you go to Sector Neoplan, these things are always there. But as a chairman, I have not witnessed any. As I said, the first time I'm saying on your screen, I've not seen myself, not witnessed. If I'm a witness to, then I can speak to it.
But David, do you live in the community?
Come again?
Do you live in the community?
Yes, I live in the community. I'm at a place called Tuna House, close to Article Station, and it's not far from the Cable and Wireless. But the unfortunate thing is, because I'm not in there, there are so many activities that I'm unable to speak to.
Okay, but with your jurisdiction, you cover that area, right?
Yes.
Good.
No. Yes, when it comes to, I made you know that I'm the assemblyman for Bubu Electoral area as well as the Sub-Metro chairman for Kankwe South. Yes.
Good.
As a Sub-Metro chairman, the whole area is under
it's under you.
Assemblyman for Bubu Electoral.
Okay, so I'm very sure that you know the Cable and Wireless area very well.
I know the area
Good.
very well.
Which people stay there? Is it a slum? Is it a community that is for business, a commercial area, or what exactly is within this community, if you can share with us?
Actually, the third area was given to the then PNC. post and telecommunications at the time. But unfortunately, the purpose for giving the land was not achieved. And people started to encroach upon the land. And today, as we speak, there are a whole lot of people from different parts of the country that are there. In recent times, people who were cleared from Old Fadama, they are all here. So though these people are there, we try hard so that we can make sure that those things do not happen. Like, it's becoming difficult spirit-wise with us, but we are still working as a sub-metro. But there are so many illegal activities taking place there in the Cape Breton.
So it's a space that is not legal for, or the individuals, they are sort of squatters. What has been the Assembly's move to eject or get these people out of the place? And two, what is the security situation there like? Is there police officers always stationed there, or are the police aware that individuals who are there are not supposed to be in that area?
The sub-metro made so many efforts to get those people out of the place due to the illegal activities that are taking place there. But we're having a lot of challenges.
Share with us some of the challenges.
The place is not, it's for the Assyrian people, yes, for the Assyrian people. And it was given to government, Assyrian Joshi. And they gave the place to government, the PNF, I said earlier. But because the government was not able to embark on the activity in which the place was given, the Assyrian people are claiming their property. Recently, I heard it was given to a businessman who wants to build supermarket or something by the Assyrian people. That's what I heard. But so nothing is going on, and the illegal things are still ongoing. But the sub-metro is still making the effort to get rid of some of the people. It's not all those who are there who are doing the illegal. There are few people are doing those things. So we're praying that very soon we are going to get the chief executive for AMA, which I am under, and we'll sit and see how we can get rid of those people.
All right, David, initially when I asked you, you said you were not aware about the situation, but now you are mentioning some illegal activities going on there. Do you mind sharing with us what some of those illegal activities are?
Unfortunately, I resumed procedures about 3 months now. That's why I said so.
But I suppose you are pretty much aware, because you've just mentioned that there are some illegal activities going on in the area. So would like to know if you can help us understand or appreciate the issues much better.
Yeah, that's what I heard from my one of my senior members at the time. So now that you have brought this to my attention, I'll make sure I do my findings, and then I'll come back again for us to discuss it.
Okay, again, you heard from your senior member. I'm sure you might have asked him questions on which particular illegal activities going on. Or do I assume that when he told you illegal activities, you didn't probe further and you just left it as such? Hello, David, are you there?
Yeah, I'm having a feedback. I can't hear you very well.
All right, so you mentioned that you got information from your senior colleague that there were some illegal activities taking place in the area. Am I right?
Yes.
Right. So I am asking that when he told you that, did you probe further to understand what kind of illegal activities going on in the area? And as you've assumed office, how you can come in to help curb the situation? Or did you just leave it as that?
He only mentioned it, and we did not discuss vividly. So that's what I said, that I'll make sure I get the findings, then I can get back to you for a thorough discussion on that.
But I also want to find out from you, in your speech or when you were having the conversation, you made mention of challenges. What are some of the challenges you are facing to relocate these individuals?
You know, the place is a very vast area and the population is very huge. It's like a community on its own. And as a sub-metro, we don't have the powers to relocate or allocate people for those who will be moved from the community. So, as I said, I mentioned that we are expecting a chief executive, and we're going to take this and see where to get to.
But since it's under your jurisdiction as the sub-metro, what are some of the measures you think can be implemented to get these people out of the place or intensify security in the area for the residents to be safe?
Let me repeat this. I made you know that a senior police mentioned to me the activities that are going on there, but did not get the vivid information. He only mentioned it when I resumed the office. So I'm waiting for my chief executive, who in about I hope before next week the name will be mentioned, and then we'll sit down and plan very well for the area.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, sir. David Abalo is Abalo is the sub-metro chairman and for Okankwe South in the assemblyman for Bubui electoral area. Thank you so much for your time. From what David is saying, it's obvious he's aware of it, but he really doesn't want to go into details what the issue is, because since he's in the area, putting your face out there like that can be in a way dangerous, because you don't know who is going to come after you've shared the details and what the government has to do and what decision is going to be taken to ensure that these individuals are taken out of the place.
But Philip, if you ask me, I think, or I feel like, I mean, if you are somebody going for a position of power, you are going there not to please the people. You are going there with a tough heart. You are going there to be a strong person.
It's not easy like that.
I know, I understand. But before you even make up your mind to be a leader, for people to follow you, to lead people, you need to have some sort of I don't care mentality, because at the end of the day, you are looking at making right decisions, helping the area as a whole. Initially, when you start, believe you me, everybody will be against you. They'll call you all sorts of names. You are wicked, you are not a good person, and all of that. But look, as human beings as we are, we like good things. Do you think if an area is sparkling clean and all of that, people will not applaud him for that? They will. But if the same people are, for example, dumping refuse in the same area, and he comes to sort of reprimand them, they'll say, oh, you are not a good person. This is where we need to do all of that. So as somebody who is in a leadership position, you should be ready for all of it.
David he's trying to be very nice about the issue.
He should
Mind
be
you,
ready
when the former Greater Accra regional minister and that is Henry Quartey was trying to relocate the onion sellers from Agbogbronshi to Ajenkutoku or to Gomwa area, it wasn't easy. It's difficult. And from what he stated, this place was given to a telecommunication area, cable and wireless. Eventually, that place was left bare, and these individuals have taken over. So you would expect some sort of activities that will go on there that are sort of like social vices. And if these activities are going on there, the police is in the known, but going there to get them out of the place is a big problem. So it needs collective.
We have a problem.
It needs collective effort. So you have to get, say, the police in the area. You have to get the assembly involved. The AMA boss is certainly going to be the chairman of MUSEC, that is the Metropolitan Security Committee or Council. And you are also going to get the bigger body inside that is going to national security or the Ministry of the Interior, among other things. You're going to get local government ministry inside, and you're going to see how you're going to relocate these individuals from one place to the other. So if the Greater Accra Regional Minister is watching, maybe some action can be taken, because what the people are saying is they are not safe in the area, and they wouldn't come out openly to come and say it, but they sent text. If you're also in that area, you can send a text and let us have it so that we can have conversation on it. You can join us on our text line, that is 0204447033. A message that came through ahead of we discussing this issue, the very day this thing was aired, was that I hope this message finds you well. My family and I relocated to Bubuashi when I was very small. I grew up in Bubuashi, and there I had my basic school education. Growing up, I made some friends, but there's a place called Cable and Wireless inside Bubuashi, which my opinion has influenced most of the childhood friends, turning them from very good, innocent people to very bad people. Thanks to Cable and Wireless, a lot of activities had been going on there, talking about the sale of alcohol, weed, and other hard unprescribed drugs, and some of the activities that goes on there, the sale and the use of these weeds and those hard drugs have influenced the youth there, and they are now turning into pickpockets, thieves, and some of the girls are into prostitution, so on and so forth. And he is calling on the MP for the area, Ernest Adumako, who is the MP for Okankwe South constituency, the president, and also key authorities to come in and address this issue. So if David Abalo is hearing of this for the first time, and the AMA comes on, or the Greater Accra Regional Minister also can lead the charge to ensure that some sort of safety
and sanity is restored in the area, important. Because if I'm going to live in such an area and I don't have anything to do with any of these social vices, and my security will not be guaranteed, then I mean it's a problem.
It's a very
Sometimes we need to be ruthless in some measures we take as people in positions or leaders, because you can't massage everyone's ego. You can't please everyone as someone who is an authority. But most times, because of political interest and all of that, somebody may be thinking that if I do this, they won't vote for my party. If I do this in the next election, my party may lose, or I will not be
because those
considered
people in
as
the
a
area
candidate.
may not vote for me.
Exactly. I may not be considered as a candidate, but Ghana is for all of us. We need to make a conscious effort to help do the right things.
But that's not the only place we're having an issue. And the issue of drug abuse is almost in most places. The residents of Sabo Zongo have initiated a move to ensure that drug use that is illegally used among the youth in the area is brought to a halt. Let's bring you this report filed by Emmanuel Anyama, and later we will speak to the authorities that be.
A surge in drug abuse among children and young people in Sabon Zongo has raised alarm across the community. Taking matters into their own hands, the youth, backed by local authorities and the chief imam, have led a major effort to clean up the area. Their initiative resulted in the closure of more than 20 shops and the confiscation of large quantities of banned substances, including weed, codeine, and tramadol. Mohammed Hashir, deputy spokesperson for the No Drugs in Zongo movement, spoke to Channel One News, making it clear that this is only the beginning.
Drugs abuse is getting out of hand in the community. That's why today we rise ourselves. Even though we did not get this enforcement, real enforcement about like a police or soldiers, we did not get it. But as long as we can do it in our community, we can do it by ourselves. So we try to do what we can, and next time we will come back with the reinforcement like police or soldiers. Anybody who make any rough, we will forward him and give it to the authority from the police station straight to the court.
Residents who spoke to Channel One News described the drug problem as dire and commended the youth for stepping up when it mattered the most.
I support our brothers, what they are doing, because looking at things, some of the little brothers are not in school today because of this, we and other staffs. We see them at least you cry because a little boy like 12 years, 11 years can smoke a weed without even thinking of school. So at least we support what they do.
Among those calling for change was 11-year-old Hadara. With innocence in her voice and determination in her words, she pleaded for a drug-free future. Her message, a poignant reminder of what's at stake for the next generation.
Them to be drinking drugs is no good at all. Some are spoiling people's children because of it. Now, children, small children are drinking drug abuse. It's no good.
That is the move initiated by residents of Sabo Zongo to end the use of illegal drugs.
Philip, let me take a moment to clap for them.
You think they've done very, very well?
Yes, they've done so well by taking the bull by the horn.
Yeah.
This is the way to go, because we can't sit watching just like that while we lose our youth to drugs. So I must say that, look, this is a great move by the whole community or the people who even took the charge to take the lead to initiate this great
It tells you they've been very much worried about
Exactly.
this. And if the youth, because you're selling drugs, or you're selling 225, you're selling tramadol, and even with a tramadol, there's something in there called tapentadol, and it's not even good for your health, and it's going to affect you psychologically, it's going to affect you health-wise, and you wouldn't be able to go to school. And if they found that in the area, if they do not stop this immediately, they'll end up using that workforce, that is the youth. And this is the initiative they have taken to end it. It's even going to end crime in the area, because if you do not engage in the use of illegal drugs, you are not forced to commit crime, and you want money to go and buy the drug again. So I think the residents of Sabo Zongo, they've done so well. And I'm sure they had the support of the Food and Drugs Authority as well to push this agenda. But we will go down to the ground, you go to the community and speak to some individuals within the community and find out from them what really pushed them to do this thing. Maybe it's been long coming. But we have the deputy spokesperson for No Drugs in Sabo Zongo Movement, or Zongo Movement, Mohammed Bashir or Hashiru. Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Is your name Bashiru or Hashiru?
Hashiru. Mine is H. It's not B.
Okay, that's fine. What led or what forced you to embark on this agenda?
Well, thank you and good morning for your listeners this morning. The team that shake us and we start this, how can I say, sanitation against those who are selling drugs and those who are taking the drugs. The team is getting out of hand. You can see a 17-year, 16-year teenage are taking those drugs in this community. Everywhere, every corner. And I can tell you, every house you find these boys, 1 or 2 or 3, who are taking these drugs in that house. So the way the thing is going on, you see, no, we call the police. If they come and arrest some, then they will leave them. We don't understand what is going on. So the chief himself called the meeting order because the thing is getting out of hand. We should help ourselves. Then from that day, we start meeting and we start doing that parade.
Mohammed, let me ask you, how difficult or how easy was it? Because we understand from the reports that you closed a couple of shops. How difficult or how easy was it? And how were you even able to identify the shops?
The shops?
Yes.
We were born in the area, that is one. And we are very familiar with the area. So all of those who are selling, I can tell you that we know about 80 or 90% of them before we take them. We knew them. And the advice I would give to the government, the immigration on the border, all of the borders, especially the Francophone borders, they should check those our own Hausa men from Niger and what's called like Mali and so on, those who are enter here, they should watch the date that they are bringing. I think you know dates. And the things, wachi or whatever they are bringing, the beans that they are bringing, they should check it because they are putting it inside.
Wow.
It's not the thing that they are passing it through airport. No, they are taking it through border, not from airport. It's from border.
Now,
so we know them. It's not like we don't know them. We knew them. The police are not helping the community. If they fight them, then that's all. That is why we ourselves making that citizen arrest, because we are getting tired.
Okay.
As I'm speaking to you, my own sister's son is doing. Some of us that we saw as that day, some of us, their own son, their own children are doing. Madam, it's not easy. Okay.
Now, Hashiru, let me ask you, so what happened to the shop owners you arrested or whose shops you closed? What happened to them? Have they been handed over to the police or what actions has been taken against them?
There are some shops, it's a kiosk. They are selling these soft drinks, especially the energy drinks like Run, like Storm, 5-Star and so on. But they have that thing aside, you understand? They hide it. They are selling. You see that it's a drink, but they are selling it. So we knew because most of the thing they are mixing it with the energy. So those kiosks, some of it, we bring it down. We let them take their drinks inside and bring the kiosk down.
Wow.
And some of it are container. We lock it.
Okay.
And we take the drugs from them.
Yeah. So I was asking, what happened to the shop owners? What happened to them?
Yesterday, some of them even we locked them. Yeah, that's all police.
Oh,
wow.
Right.
So, Mohammed, how is this affecting the youth in the area, say education and also security in Sabo Zongo?
Master, that is one of the problems. There are some boys who finish SS, which is a senior high school graduate. There are some who finish even university. You don't know how come, and they enter this drug, how can I say drug? Two people said, I am mobile. Serious. And there are some those who their parents guide them and God help them, they are okay. But some of them, there is a girl that she is the one at Essence. She is the one writing notes for her, some of the teachers, because she's very good in writing. As I speak to you, that girl has 10, something else.
Wow.
It's not easy.
And safety in the area, how is it like? As a result of the illegal use of drugs, were some of the youth into robbery activities or abusing individuals in the area?
You see, as for the robbery, we ourselves, you know that we are not soft. So if you rob, we get you. You know us already. Whether we know your mother, you know father, you know what's happened to you. We are not we are not all that soft. You know, Muslim community.
Wow.
We deal with you according to Islam law.
Wow.
So as for the robbery, it's not too much like this. Because it's not easy for you to see somebody has snatched somebody's phone in Sabo Zongo. No, for that one. Because if you snatch somebody's phone, whether the person is Zongolese or he comes from somewhere, we will not let you go free. We'll catch you.
Wow.
So for those things, they cannot do it here.
The issue with the drugs that some of the youth are abusing, especially in Sabo Zongo. Which drugs are this? We know Red, we know 225. Are there others that maybe isn't the public domain that you want to make it public, that FDA can pick up, or the health ministry can pick up, or the authorities can know that this drug is in the system and they can get it out of the space?
3 days ago and yesterday, we saw those drugs you have mentioned, such as that Red. 3 days ago that I saw it live. I just seen it on TV or so on. But to see it physical, I saw it 3 days ago. Yes, and some of different ones that we burn it. We burn it. You can see it on the video. Your cameraman was there. You burn it. They're not. I saw it different, more than 10.
But what
some of them I never seen before.
What do you think may have accounted to the youth abusing drugs? Is it that there isn't job in the area, or some sort of checking up on or taken care by the parents, that is parental guidance and other things? It's not really active in the space, in the community. That is why the youth are into drugs? Or what has accounted to the usage of illegal drugs?
You see, if you said maybe there's no work, that's why. You see, we all, everywhere in Ghana here, we are under one government.
Okay.
So the problem that we are facing in Kumasi is almost the same with the president here. You yourself can find, as I'm speaking to you, I'm always creating my own business. I'm a poultry farmer at the same time. You understand? As for Ghana, try to do something by yourself, or to get somebody and go and find a way. Some of them are just lazy. It's not that there is no. I can tell you that there is one of our brothers. He's called Alaji Mori. He's at Aswan Lake here, but it's everything is here. His family, everything is here. He has a rubber company. Those who are respecting themselves, they are working with him. Those who are getting lower pay is 4,000 from his company. He's selling this takeaway, rubber, the park, and the student. He's a big supplier in Accra. If you ask any company here, they know him. The companies know him, that like Bell Park, whatever, they know him. I like him. He's at one lake here. A lot of boys, those who are from here, more than 100, they are working there.
Now, Mohammed,
if you come from this community, so what prevents some of them to go and find work?
Mohammed, let me ask you about education. What is the state of education in Sabon Zongo? Say, are the young ones there in school, or what's the general state of education? And in general, for those who are in school, how has this drug abuse affected their education in general?
Yeah, those who are in school and they want to educate themselves, they are in school. And those who want to take the thing, that's why I tell you earlier on that there are some of them who even finish the SS. Before you realize they start taking those things. There are some who finish even university, which is specialty. They have taken it. And there are some they don't do it. Some of them are joining the politics, like some of them are even consultancy chairmen, some of them are doing things, and they are doing something for themselves. You understand?
Mohammed, did you get the support of government officials, say the FDA, the police, when you did this action?
The police, we went to them.
Okay.
Because we are under Kolebu and Maprovi.
Okay.
We went there for them to give us a car. They even tell us that the Kolebu, they tell us that the car tire is not good. That's what they told us. So yesterday, those who we arrested them, the divisional commander of Dansoma, she is the one help us and give us the car, and they come and pick them to Dansoma police. You understand?
And what of FDA? Have you gotten the support from FDA? Because since you are arresting people and you are taking drugs and all that, hasn't FDA come into this to help you yet?
We did not get help from them. That now we are preparing to go to them in narcotics and see what we can, what support we can get from them.
Now, David, Mohammed, before we let you go, you've arrested a couple of people, other shops have been closed. But moving on, or looking at the bigger picture, what measures are you taking or putting in place so that some of these people do not resurface into your communities?
Now we went to register the group. You understand? We have started the process. We want to make it like a militia. Because there are some Niger guys who are selling some coffee into a wheelbarrow truck. I think maybe if you see them before. We noticed that some of them have the drugs inside. So we want to make it like a community security. You understand? If you see, we will check you. If you get it, then we will arrest you to the police street. Because we want to sanitize the area.
Very good.
If we do not do it by ourselves, nobody can do it for us. Because I will see that the police, they cannot help us. Because I tell you that some of the police are coming here to and smoke.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, yes.
Wow.
They cannot argue. Even one of my sisters saw one of them collecting the substance of this drug that they soak into the energy drink and give it to him. And some of them are very close with the suppliers, coming collecting their brands and so on. So for what we can see from people, they cannot help us.
Wow.
What we need from them, just back up to witness what we are doing. That's all.
Mohammed,
them to come and arrest. If they arrest the person today, tomorrow they will release them. So these ones we are taking them to court.
All right.
If you go and spend like 5 months, you advance yourself.
All right, Mohammed, thank you so much for speaking with us.
And
we wish you the very best, and then we pray that you continue this vigilante week and also apprehending or arresting the people that are involved to have some sanity in the area, because we need the youth to grow the future.
Maybe not only Sabo Zongo, take it to other areas
Most
as well.
definitely. I think this should be a cue or some sort of motivation for other vicinities or areas that are seeing drug abuse.
As for the 225, there's destroying.
No, it's crazy.
It's having a lot of effect on the youth in this day.
Anyway, we still love to connect with you on this conversation and others. So join us via our WhatsApp number on the screen, 020-444-7033. You can also log on to our YouTube channel as we are streaming live at Channel One TV, and then leave a comment in the comment section down below. Alternatively, go on X and then send us a message there using the hashtag Breakfast Daily, and we'd love to read your messages. We'll take a quick breather this way, but this conversation is not over. When we come back from the break, we'll be speaking to Dr. Anigezi, who is an addictive behavior specialist, to find more insights or to get more understanding on this issue. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
This year, take the first step towards a deeper connection with God and one another. Join us for the Family Consecration Service, a powerful journey of faith, love, and renewal. In 2025, we are called to consecrate our homes, our hearts, and our lives.
The Lord is protecting you with His favor this morning in the name of Jesus. May the Lord favor your going out. May the Lord favor your coming in.
To dedicate ourselves and our families to the path of faith, grace, and unity. Through prayer and reflection and a shared devotion, the Family Consecration Service 2025 brings families closer together, strengthens bonds, and invites God's presence into every corner of our homes. It's on Thursday, 1st of May 2025 from 6 a.m. to 12 noon. The venue is the Oil Dome, Royal House Chapel International, Accra. There will be renewal of vows for married couples.
On this occasion, I'm asking you to forgive me for all the hits and pain I have caused you.
Join countless families around the world as we come together to consecrate our lives in the spirit of love and faith. A consecration for today and for generations to come. Make this year a new beginning. Family Consecration Service 2025 for the love of God and the love of family. Join us this year. Together, let's consecrate our families and our hearts.
Welcome back from that break. You're still live on Breakfast Daily right here on Channel One Television. And before we went on the break, I mentioned that we'll be speaking to an addictive behavior specialist who has, of course, she's very well vested when it comes to psychology. She's in the person of Dr. Anigezi. She has joined us via Zoom. Doc, good morning.
Good morning, Philip. How are you both today?
We are well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Right. From your expertise or from what you do so far, talk to us. Which of these substance abuses have come to your attention? When I mean, what are some of the drugs that have come to your attention that the youth are abusing? Because we've seen the popular red, we've had issues of people sniffing on glue and other substances. Are there some that are not in the public domain that you would love to shed light on?
Thank you so much for mentioning this, and thank you for this topic this morning, because obviously, as you said, this is my specialty, and it's an eye-opener for me today, because I mean, this is the reason why I've relocated back to Ghana, and to actually support and work hard towards this. I know about the cannabis. Obviously, street drugs have different names in various communities, and that. I have to be honest, I'm not familiar with red, so I don't know which one is called red. So you have to talk to me about that. So I know that there are loads, and it's affecting loads of people, affecting the community. I'm just going to highlight, the video or the programs that I saw this morning. It's really heartbreaking, and to see those little children coming out to say this. So I think that this, they've dealt with it from the criminal justice point of view, community and all of that. I think it's about time that one thing that wasn't mentioned was about preventative treatment and creating awareness of the effects of drugs on the people using and also on the community and the nation as a whole. Because obviously if you're arresting or moving, reallocating people, then definitely you're not doing, there's going to be another pollution in another area as well. So it's important that we look at the other side of it. That's, what I'm talking about, my field. How do we do the preventative? How do we do the awareness? Because some of these people are moving on and they don't know, because drugs go with criminality. That's a fact. I've worked in the community. I've been in this field about 30 years. Drugs go with criminality, goes with mental health, affects community, affects children, affects families, and affects also the governance of a community. So if that is not tackled and all we're doing is moving people on, I know that, the leaders are doing their bit. I'm not here to condemn anybody. Everybody has got their remit. I think I'm speaking as an expert in the field of addiction, that if we don't do the awareness, like going to these schools, talking to these young people, even before they are groomed into using drugs, then obviously they are growing and people are teaching them or grooming them to start using the drugs. So we have a lot of work to do, but we also have to start with creating awareness. Whatever the drugs are, whether class A, class B, class C, whatever it is, these days people sniff, like you say, in glue, balloons, sprays, whatever that they can lay their hands on that has got some sort of effects in it, addictive effects in it, or effect that something that affects their mood, whether it's a stimulant or depressant, whatever it is, that they feel that they can get some effect on their mood. So we have to look at it on a broader, but I want to talk about it more about what can we do, not just about looking at the law, but also in terms of treatment, preventative and recovery, and also how, as a parent, what should you look out for from your children, the schools. If a child is behaving in a certain way, what does it mean? I love this thing that says, say no to drugs. This is an awareness. That means that something is going on, we are aware, but what can we do to actually prevent this or to stop this or reduce? And also, something I don't hear in Ghana most often is harm reduction. How can we reduce the harm?
Okay, Doc, you made mention of classes. If you can share these classes with us. And at what stage will one get addicted to a particular drug? Is it that after using it once, twice? At what stage is someone going to get addicted to a drug?
That is very interesting, you should say, because that's what we call individual differences. Someone can take it once and that's it, and also that can affect their mental health, where we have people can even go into psychosis, where we call drug-induced psychosis. Somebody can also take it several times. Our DNAs are different. Our makeup, our genetic composition, also some people are predisposed to, that's where we go into biology, genetics and all that, that maybe, let's say, in general health, or should I say physical health, medical health, maybe my grandparents suffered from high blood pressure, so I'm predisposed to also having high blood pressure. It's so with drugs as well. So let's say if mom was drinking heavily or grandparents, it could be that along the line, the generation. Somebody or some people will drink if they start drinking. And then somebody can drink several times, but their tolerance level will be very high, either because of their genetics or because of who they are as a person. So it differs and it varies, and it's always good to say, just stay out of it. Avoid using it so that it doesn't become a problem. So it's very important for us to just be mindful of the fact that Kwesi Mensah there, drinks a bottle of whiskey or gin and they're okay. Doesn't mean I can do the same. Because they can do that and maybe they will stand, they would walk, they will go to work and function okay. But all you have to do is have a glass of wine or beer or whatever and you won't function properly. And I know some people who on their first attempt of using cannabis or what they say weed had psychosis, full-blown mental health, and never recovered. Even with treatment and everything, they had to go back and forth with their treatment. And there are others too who would have it for some time and say, I use it as a pain relief, I use it to sleep, I use it for all sorts, which is not true, but I'm not going to go into that unless you want us to talk about that. So everybody is different. And when I talk about the classes, I'm talking about things like we have cocaine, we have crack, we have heroin, those are the class A's. Then we have some of these over-the-counter, the tramadols or the cannabis and all that, the class A's and class B's and class C's. I'm trying to familiarize myself with the common drugs in Ghana, so please forgive me. I'm very familiar with the ones in the UK, but not the ones in Ghana. So I don't want to say something that's not the norm in Ghana. But I would say that the hardcore drugs, we have to be mindful. Even the ones, especially the fact that we're seeing 10-year-olds pleading and saying, please, do something about our community. And I think this cry for help is not just about those areas that you actually show. And I am so happy today to be talking about this because I would have to highlight again that that's the reason why I packed my bags and I said I'm coming back to my motherland because we need to do something about it. I think drug addiction sometimes is pushed to the back and we don't talk about it because even over-the-counter medications people abuse a lot and we take for granted. Somebody would just say, I've got a stomach ache or I've got a headache or I'm in pain, and they would just take. And that's addiction as well, because the more you take, the more you develop tolerance towards it. And you have to take more and more and more. And sleep medications also. So this is a big thing. It is a huge thing. But I think education should come first.
Right, Doc, let's speak about some of the psychological or social triggers that push the young ones to drug abuse or drug addiction. Because when we spoke to Mohammed, who was from Sabon Zogo, and we asked him, he couldn't even place a finger on one or two reasons why the youth go into abusing drugs. He only said, or he only mentioned that some people are university graduates, others are out of senior high school, and others are also still in school, but they are abusing drugs. And he didn't even mention the issue of parental neglect whatsoever. So if you'd be able to throw some light on that for us, we'd be very grateful.
Yeah, I think one of the things is deprivation and people not being aware of the environment and what is actually going on. And neglect, children, parents not having time for children, children roaming the streets. I think I mentioned poverty. If people don't have money, if people don't have clothing, if people don't have shelter, it's easy for them to be groomed by the older ones. It's easy because people can just offer anything and just say, I'll give you this for that. Or they can even give them drugs to sell. So it's about what is actually going on in the community. What activities do they have? Are they going to school? Do they have enough food? Do they have enough, the basic things that young people have? Also, some of them have finished their education and they don't have any work. They don't have any employment. So what is going on for them? I think there's the old saying about the idle hands. If I'm not doing anything, what is there to do? And it starts with recreational, by people saying, try this, or let me try this. You know what, if you try this, you're going to feel so calm. Yeah, cannabinoids have got that effect of that calm feeling or taking you to a different zone where you feel different. And somebody would say, you forget all of that problem or that pain or that health issue if you use it. And once you use it once, anytime you have a problem, you just fall back to it. It's a bit like having something that a mechanism that you use, like a coping mechanism. So the drug becomes your coping mechanism. And just like with alcohol as well, it's just like when I drink, I can sleep. And sometimes when I hear these things, I'm thinking, I just laugh and I say, no, it's not the alcohol making you sleep, because that's not the job of alcohol. Maybe initially you fall asleep, but you have broken sleep and you have other effects with it. So yes, it causes depression, it causes anxiety with both drugs and alcohol, because with addiction, alcohol is also a drug. So it causes depression, it causes anxiety, it causes isolation, it causes loneliness, affects your confidence. Let's not forget the social effects as well. Finances, as we see, people are stealing, and I mean, if you're a parent and you have a child who starts using drugs, you're in trouble. If you're not careful, everything in the house they're going to sell. And they sell it for peanuts as well, because what they want is just the money to go and get the next fix. Because when people are on drugs, addicted to drugs, what tends to happen is that they need to use it all the time. That's what people don't understand. That's why I talked about the harm reduction. It's easy for me to say, let's say if I'm an alcoholic, or I'm using drugs, it's easy for you, Jifa or Philip, to say, you know what, Annie, stop using. It's easy for you to say, stop drinking. But you could go into a shock or a seizure and then die. If I'm drinking heavily or I'm using drugs. But I talked about harm reduction because it should be a gradual process. So let's say I drink, I'm just giving an example. I drink a bottle of whiskey a day. What I need to do is reduce it to maybe 2/3 or half, and then dilute it, and then have a plan on how to reduce it, so that my body gets used to the reduction and gradually you come off. So that's the meaning of reducing harm. In the Western world where I train and where I work so much, sometimes we even give them medication, and it's done here. We call it detox. We detox the drugs or the alcohol out of the person's system safely. We use, sometimes we use medications like diazepam, which we call Valium, Acamprosate, so many different, so we do it in a safe environment. Sometimes we can even do it in your home. If you have support at home, we can come to your home and administer that and work with you gradually until you come off the drugs. So these communities need this education. Parents need this education. The schools need that. If a child is exhibiting A, B, C, these are signs of this is what is going on in the community. And children need to be educated about being content. The fact that Kwesi Mensah has got a trainers, Nike trainers or Skechers doesn't mean you have to have it. You need to work hard so that you can also, in future become somebody that you'll be able to afford your own things. So we need to be able to get into our young ones and also the older ones as well. I like the fact that now we've got community leaders, community champions going out and educating. But I think now what we need to do, and like you said, if there's any government officials, well, I'm happy to work with them, that we educate these leaders who are doing all this work, because they need to understand what they're doing. Because I think they are tackling it from the criminal point of view about we need to clean our streets, which is brilliant, getting rid. But what we're doing is moving them to another place to start another issue, a big issue where maybe other youth, other children there are going to be affected as well. But that's not what I want to see. And I'm sure that's not what we all want to see. What we want to see is saying no to drugs and also like preventative activities and then recovery. We need to be able to educate people about how do I recover from this? How do we clean this up? And I keep loving this banner say no to drugs that a young person is holding. We need to educate our young people.
Doc, you've spoken extensively about education. But what of enforcement of the law or arresting of an individual who is into drugs and all that? That's help to break someone free of addiction?
Definitely it does, because when you confine people, okay, so I'll go back to my previous work again. I used to manage about 10 prisons in London. And what we used to do, London in the UK, what we used to do is, if somebody is in that state and they are arrested, it's good for them, because you are putting them in a safe space to treat them. And that was where my services came in. So we put them by them being in that space, safe space, it gives time to actually clean the streets, and also the person doing it, for people like myself to actually go into treatment therapy with them. So yes, the law works because my field has been for years, I've been about working with the criminal justice, working in prisons, working in community with the probation services, with the police force. So what they do is when they pick them up, or like you rightly said, if they are arrested, because some of them you can't just treat them straight away because some of them are not even aware that they have a problem. Where they are in their mental state and everything, they're not even aware that actually this is a big problem. I have a problem, and that problem is affecting other people. So in addiction, we've got something called the cycle of change. There are some people who are at the first stage who don't even know that they have a problem. So some people have to make them aware. And that is where the law enforcement, like you said, come in to say, actually, do you know what? You have a problem. And the problem is not just about you. Your problem is affecting the community. It's affecting our young ones. So you know what? We're going to put you away, give you that space to clean up. And if you don't clean up, we're not bringing you out. But whilst you're away, we're going to give you this education, we're going to give you this addiction treatment, and also we're going to go into the community and clean the people that you have affected. So yes, definitely, we work hand in hand. It's not a one-person job. It's not just the law, and it's not just for us that provide the recovery and the treatment, but we all have to work as a team to be able to make that happen.
Right, Doc, you mentioned that you're back to Ghana for good to help fight this cause. What's the rollout plan for you? Do you have any collaborations with any private institutions or even governments as a whole? And what's the plan for you? Because, I mean, we appreciate people like you who've taken it upon themselves to come back to help curb some of these menaces in the society. So talk to us about it.
So I've started gradually working with a few people, but it's great to actually see a program like this on mainstream TV. To actually say that if anybody is listening in the government and that, because I would like to work with the prison service to look at prison reforms and how we can provide treatment, addiction treatment and recovery and treatment services within the community as well. So I've started gradually, but I'm one person. And having platforms like this, I love it because you don't know who is listening, who is watching. But it would be great if I can work with the government and various institutions and bodies to be able to, because this is what I've always done. And I believe that there's so much that we can do to make this work and to make the community safe and to make our young people feel that I can be home, or parents feel that I can leave my door open and my children are safe, or when my children are going out to school. And also not to clog up our prisons, to look at what are they doing when they, because we call something the working prison, and I think Ghana prison, some of them are that. And I don't know whether we have the categories like we have in the UK, where we have category A with people with murderers and life sentence and remand prisons, cat B, and we have category C, and that is the working prison. So what are you here for? So the day one that you come in, that you go through everything, your processes, you start working. You start working for the government, you start working for the community, and that's what we used to do. So we create this. They have farms, they go and then they plow the farms, they do all sorts. You teach them, you know, some to the extent that even we had prisons with DHL services in there. So they do all sorts. They peel protectors, they do whatever. And I believe that there's a great job being done in Ghana prisons already. But I am happy to actually come in, and some of the services that we did in the prisons in the UK where, you know, I was managing, we can actually enforce that, and that would work. Because when a prison is a rehabilitation place. Yes, they are there to be punished. But then if we don't rehabilitate them, what are we doing? They're going to come back to the community again, and the very things that we don't want them to do, but they're going to do them, and even worse, because when they go to prison, they learn other things as well, learn behavior. And a hardcore criminal is going to train that one-time prisoner to come out and do worse than they were doing before. So why don't we put systems in place in the prison and in the community, and then work with them so that they learn something? So nobody can come out and say, well, I don't have a job, that's why I did ABC. Well, when you were in prison, you learn how to make tables, you learn how to weld, you learn how to fix cars. So come out and do that job. So So to answer your question, yes, I'm happy and open to the government, to work closely with the government, to work with the ministers, to work with anybody, to be able, and then the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Prison, Police, whatever, to make it happen.
Right. We are sure they are watching, and then they reach out to you for some sort of collaboration to help curb this menace. But thank you so much for your time. We appreciate that you spent some time to talk to us extensively about this. We are grateful.
Doc, thank you so much for your time. Dr. Annie Gazy is addictive behavior specialist with psychology background. And from what she said, even our prisons need to reform.
Yes, yes.
And looking at the state of our prisons in this country, I don't really know whether they are able to reform the individuals as it is. Maybe you go in there, you come hard, you come back harder. And there should be a way to get around all that. I'm sure the Minister of the Interior
I agree. To some extent, there's some sort of reform because quite recently we saw in the news some prison officers graduating from University of Cape Coast and all of that. And aside from that, there are other program rollouts where people learn other handicrafts like carpentry, bead making, farming and whatnot. So I think it's a good place for a reform. But just to mention or just to add that Dr. Annie's approach is a good one, to go into the prisons, to even psych their minds even before they finish serving their time, to know that, look, getting out is a great opportunity, but you going back to do what brought you in, it shouldn't be the case. So I love that, and I hope that she gets the support.
And with this initiative she has brought on board, I think it's going to help, because normally getting addicted to these drugs, like I asked there, you can take it just once and you get addicted to it twice or 3 times, and you may not know how to cope with it. For all you know, someone wants to break free that addiction, but it's very difficult as to how the person is going to get off of that particular